Hello, everybody. Welcome to
Definitely
tonight's
on.
episode of Critical Role, where a bunch of us nerdy-ass voice actors sit around and roll dice and play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, we do.
My name's Matthew Mercer. I'm the Dungeon Master of the show. Before we get started, let's go ahead and run through our announcements for the evening. First, I wanted to let you guys know that tomorrow is the last day to pre-order your Dagger shirt.
Yeah.
Is it also the last day to do the
Strong
Jaw
Jaw?
Ale
It
as well?
is.
Strong Jaw Ale and Dagger shirts.
Also ale.
Also, I need them.
You do need them.
You do. Actually, Ashley, I think I got shirts for you.
Yeah, we got.
Yeah, we got some shirts out for you.
Extra large.
But if you're not Ashley, you better get yourself a shirt.
Yeah. So you have till tomorrow.
20. It went 21.
Till tomorrow to get those. So go to the Geek and Sundry store to pre-order if you're interested. So yay.
Yay.
Next up, a reminder: me and Marisha are flying out bright and early tomorrow morning to Pittsburgh for Techo. We're going to be doing awesome panels on voiceover and gaming and all points nerdy on the internet in between, as well as signings and autographs, all that fun stuff. So if you're in the area and you want to find a place that's warm, we'll be there in the convention. So hopefully we'll see you guys over the weekend.
And I went to college there.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be finding my old homies, getting drunk.
College sweater that just says college. You could really use one.
I went to the performing arts school, and we did make football T-shirts because we thought it was funny, as our performing arts shirts.
That sounds like a performing arts joke.
Yeah.
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 Fascinating.
Indeed.
Cool story,
So-
bro.
Cool story. Next up, I'll get to announce coming up on it's part of a celebration for International Tabletop Day and a sponsorship by Pathfinder and Sirenscape, who have been fantastic in getting this program for me in this game as well. We're going to be doing an event called Critical Role One Shot on April 18th, Monday. At 7 to 10 p.m. We're actually going to be taking over Ivan's slot, No Survivor slot that evening to run a Pathfinder One Shot that I'll be running. However, Ivan will actually be playing as a player in that one.
What?
I know.
No.
What? Mind blown. Destroyed. But yeah, Ivan will be playing. We also will have guesting players of Taliesin and Marisha. We'll be playing in that game as well. And we have two special guests that evening who will be playing with us. The illustrious Ashley Birch will be joining us for the evening. And the wonderfully talented Phil Lamar as well.
Hey!
Wait, what? I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a fun night playing Pathfinder.
When is that again?
That is April 18th, Monday at 7 p.m.
taxes due that day?
Time. When you're done with your taxes, this is a great way to celebrate.
Yeah.
We're sitting down,
Really celebrate.
and I've
I'll
got.
be filing you an extension.
Oh yeah,
Like everybody else.
Extension.
Yeah.
it'll be a fun event. We got some cool surprises set up for the story, and I'm excited about it. So come join us 7 p.m. Pacific, Monday, April 18th for Critical Role One Shot.
Yeah.
Also, those of you out there who are members of the Nerd Block or are looking to be, this upcoming now live Nerd Block that is going out has a little surprise in there, a little artistic surprise for fans of Critical Role.
Huh? What is it?
They'll have to see.
Oh, a tiny poop. I'm in.
A teeny tiny poop, just
Indeed.
from Sam.
But yeah, if those of you out there want to check it out, we have a little fun little insert there in the box. You get to see if you grab one. So check it out. See if it's to your liking. Let's see. Liam, do you want to talk about?
Oh yeah, hey, you know my love for Wormwood Gaming and their boxes. We have these beautiful ones. Lift up a Wormwood box.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, sure.
They make
yes.
great, beautiful
Of
boxes
course.
out of all kinds of woods to hold your dice in, and if you use the code CRITROLL,
Instagramming it.
you will get free shipping. But also, today, I would like to let you all know that Wormwood Gaming has a Kickstarter for their Sentinel box. I'm sure I'm
It's
forgetting the
so
actual name. It's
fancy.
a beautiful box. It's good for D&D, it's good for Magic the Gathering, it holds cards, it holds dice. There's a Bluetooth in it so that if you lose it, you can find it.
I wish we had the
Satellites
box
can
in
see
front of us,
it.
but go look it up. It's got like this box at on the top, and then it separates on the bottom, and you can put your dice in the bottom.
I want it
It's
too,
called
Ashley.
the-
I want it real bad.
It's called the Sentinel deck box. There's also a version of it called the Vox Machina, which is sort of a premium item.
Whoa.
It's gorgeous. And then
so
also
beautiful.
premium. But tossing this out too, if you guys want any of the other Sentinel deck boxes and you want to get the logo etched onto it, that's also an option. I don't know if that's on the site or not, but it will be.
It's an
So
off-the-menu item.
yeah,
Yeah, check it out.
twill be there. Gorgeous box.
The animal. So there you go.
Yeah, it's the animal style.
Yeah.
Of
Oh, he
it, I
would.
guess.
Yeah.
Don't worry. He would be
because
happy
of,
to sell.
Because of the Bluetooth feature, the NSA will track your every roll.
You're now on Homeland Security list.
Indeed. All right. Well, do we have anything else you guys want to announce before we get started?
That
for this?
fucking Rogue One trailer, holy
I haven't
shit.
seen it yet. I haven't seen it yet.
Alright, no words, no words, no words.
Is it like Batman versus Superman good?
Don't set expectations you can't match.
Did you see it, Ashley?
God. Gimme! Yep, all the things.
I'm sure it's cool. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, on the break, on the break, on
Okay.
the break.
Yeah, we'll
on the
watch
break.
I haven't had a chance. I've been busy working on this ship, you guys.
Why, you don't just make the stuff up as you go?
It's imaginary. How could it
That
be
has
like
no
you
life.
just like flow with it, right?
Oh, I thought this was scripted.
It's
I,
all my.
I've been in rehearsal all day for that.
Crash the Wormwood site.
Wormwood crashed, yeah.
Oh.
Wormwood crashed. Sorry, Wormwood.
Sorry,
Or you're welcome,
I'm,
Wormwood. Or
I'm Instagramming my Wormwood box right now too.
sorry.
one of those.
Well
two.
done, Legion.
That's it.
Love you guys.
Colbert Nation.
All
I
right.
should say, the etching is like a new development. So if that's not happening
It
today,
might not be on the
it'll
website
be there
yet.
tomorrow.
Yeah, so don't like yell at them. Don't be
Yeah.
like bullshit.
It's either
Like,
gonna be
give
there
it
tomorrow
time.
or very soon.
Because
Yeah.
we literally got an email about it
Today.
as we were starting.
Yeah.
Good show.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Now we go to our deaths.
Now we bring it back. I will ask if we
How
can
long it
turn
takes me
that
to
speaker down
post on
a
Instagram.
little bit.
Okay.
That's good. Great. All right, guys. Let's plug into the world of Exandria
Oh, Jesus.
as we begin tonight's episode of Critical Role. So, last we left off, the adventuring party of Vox Machina, traversing the lands in search of lost artifacts of wars of old, referred to as the vestiges of divergence, in hopes of eventually tearing down and defeating a conclave of chromatic dragons called the Chroma Conclave that have destroyed society all across the continent of Tal'Dorei and beyond. You returned to the outskirts of a city named Western that was very important in your early adventures to find it from a distance, partially destroyed by the dragon attack but a couple weeks before, and since taken over by what seems to be the remnants, now swelling in power and size, of Grog's old herd of wandering barbarians and various savages. Having taken the city by force and ruling it with an iron hand, it was also deemed not the right time to face this foe, and as such the party continued venturing southward in the direction of the Frostweald, where somewhere at the base of the Storm Peak Mountains, the mate of Osisa, the Sphinx, Gynosphinx you had met in Vasselheim, her mate resides somewhere in this vicinity. That's all the information you have to go on as you head down towards the frozen forest. So, that's where we begin. As you guys continue pushing south from Western, seeing the distant pillars of dark smoke that slowly drift into the atmosphere disappear as the town itself vanishes over the horizon, you continue to push southward through the open grass fields. You continue traveling for the better part of the day, eventually coming up along the side of the Silvercut Channel, which is the river that comes down and cuts through near Craghammer into the west of Western, goes past Kaimal, and then eventually heads down in this direction towards the Faramir Basin. You guys traveling fairly quickly as you're in your mist forms, which is making up a lot of the normal travel time you would have to worry about here. By the time the sun finally begins to set across the mountains, pay attention, please.
Yes.
Sorry,
It's another beholder.
the kids
Shut
are. Yeah, I got
Son,
plenty of things
whatever
I
I'm
can
with
throw in here if you guys aren't paying attention.
That's not funny.
No, it's really funny for me. As you guys continue pushing southward, as the sun slowly begins to set in the distance, you glance over towards the Faramir Basin, You can see just gently over to the right what looks to be the city of Kaimo, which has lights kind of glimmering in the far distance. But what you see by the basin itself is this large lake that is centered in this region just north of the Frostweald. You can see where the two main rivers diverge before heading southward towards the ocean. There's a smattering of various tents that are clustered right towards the side of the riverbank, or the riverbank and the edge of the lake itself. As you continue coasting overhead and your mist forms, you see small trails of smoke from smoldering campfires, clusters of people and families wandering the shore in this small group. You continue going forward?
I mean, we should check it out.
Yeah.
You don't have to, you can keep going.
No, we need
It's
to.
a tent city?
It looks like, yeah.
They're like refugees, probably.
Hundreds, thousands?
There's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of a few dozen, close to maybe half. What's about 50, 60?
What do the tents look like? Do they look like military encampment tents or like refugee tents?
Can't really tell from this distance, especially as the light is beginning to slowly diminish.
Can we float closer? Yeah.
Oh, were we still mists?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
That whole description, and yes, we're still mists.
Yes. As you coast down closer, you get a better look. And yeah, there are about 50, 60 or so people on the outside. You don't have an idea of how many are maybe inside the tents, even more most likely. But these tents are fairly ramshackle, barely standing. The people look destitute. Look like they're holding on to survival here on the outside of the city. You see a few boats that are going in and out on the shore, probably fishermen. There are a few bonfires that are now starting to kick up as the night's cold begins to swell in. It looks to be like this is a fairly, thriving, a fairly functional refugee camp.
Well, those that give a fuck speak up.
Well, we can't. We're in mist form.
They're like, in that direction.
Maybe we can.
Good point.
Maybe we can send them back to Whitestone.
Maybe if we could talk, which we can't right now.
Maybe I float down into the trees outside of the camp.
Okay.
follow.
These are open grasslands. There aren't a lot of trees, and they're spotted around. There are a few like rock formations and small hills that you might be able to get out of sight.
Around there.
So you coast around there, and you go back into your physical form. Rest you follow.
Tall grass, low grass?
I'd say it's probably
Low.
thigh length.
Okay.
Following?
Yes.
Yeah,
There
yeah,
we
yeah,
go.
of
Yeah,
course.
for you, close to the knee.
Near the rock, so that we're kind of in camouflage.
All right, so you guys go ahead and you set down maybe 300 feet from the outside of the nearest part of the camp. Reconstitute into your physical forms. At this point, the sun has now disappeared over the horizon, and the blues have now gone to orange to purple, and you can see in the distance the darkness of night is starting to crest over the sky. What do you want to do?
What we stuck for? Are we here?
No, it looks like a refugee camp, Grog.
They may have
Maybe-
information.
People that escaped from Western, potentially.
What?
Worth talking to them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Possibly.
I mean, it's a large group of people. I'm assuming they came from a city of some sort.
Hey, Skeleton.
Oi!
Look, if we go over there and it gets a little like hairy, you still got old magic doll, right?
Old magic doll?
Yeah, Hugh Hefner house.
Oh, yeah, the old magic door, yes.
Magic doll if you have it too for later, but yeah.
I mean, I have a little pike figurine that I keep with me.
Oh.
What? No, it's a keepsake.
Yeah, sure it is.
Why is everything I say creepy?
I think
I don't
maybe
know why.
maybe we can pop them back
wonder
to
that
Whitestone. I feel like it might be good. I mean, if we find out if they're hurting, that's where we're putting our survivors.
They look
right?
like they're hurting.
I couldn't help with that today.
Oh,
I'd have
we
to
could rest overnight, and you could pop them in the morning.
Yeah,
What time is it?
It's late. Sun's gone down.
super late. Yeah, and if they're from
Are you out of
Western,
all your? Oh, mist form.
Mist form. Got us here.
It's
That's
worth
from-
talking to them at the very least. And
Pike and I are from Western. If they're of that village or that city, I'd like to make sure they're all right.
I mean, maybe
Yes.
they're friends.
Maybe we could find Pike's
Pike's dad.
grandfather.
Grandpa.
Grandfather Wilhelm.
Percy, would Whitestone be able to sustain this many more people?
I think at some point we're going to have that conversation, but for now, I think we'll
We're fine.
probably be all right.
Yeah.
All right.
You're good for it. You're rich.
Should maybe
Here's an idea. Scanlan, you said that a lot of people can go into your house, yeah?
I can fit many people into my hole.
Could you
I wonder why everything he says is creepy.
invite the folk in, and then they live in your hole for a little while, and then when we get to Whitestone, you open your hole and out they come?
I don't know if it.
No, not quite.
Some cartel shit right there.
Yeah.
No.
We become
Doesn't
Vox
quite work
Machina
like that.
coyotes.
Scanlan is the mule.
No, the house is mainly for us and a few guests for one night at a time.
You can't like leave.
Didn't you
people
say
in there.
100 people the other day?
100 servants are in there. I don't quite. I haven't
They live in the
jammed.
walls.
I haven't jammed people in there. I don't know how many it can totally hold.
You mean you've never thrown like
Go ahead and
a
roll an
party?
intelligence check.
First roll of the night, natural 20. No! Wasted it on an intelligence check.
Though the magic is new to you, you've spent in your first time casting it, and a large part of the evening, especially since you realized you probably weren't going to have as fun a night as you thought after the broom had been taken and Vex left your room, learning the intricacies of the spell itself and the pocket dimension that is created. You can fit quite a few people in there. However, it is stationary in its entrance and exit, and then once the spell comes to completion after a 24-hour period, it expels anyone and anything that was not that was brought into it on the spot where it was originally cast.
I see.
Oh.
Gently or violently?
Like a flush.
Please leave or get the fuck out.
Is that a yes or a no?
It's not a transporting type spell. It is a temporary shelter at best.
You just don't want to bring them in.
I have a cold, cold heart. Listen, if I'll consider taking the females in.
That is very noble of you.
So noble, Scanlan.
I will join him in this charity.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Well, all right. Why don't we just walk around and talk to these people? Maybe they're not even interested in being transported. Let's just find some.
Should we make sure they're actually innocent, nice people?
Yeah, we should probably do that as well. Not like a band of thieves, bandits.
Stealth ahead.
That could be fun.
Can I like sneak ahead and just listen to them?
Yes, sneaking up on them will definitely put them on our side.
Hey, like 100 yards out, I just want to hear what they're saying.
All right.
I can read lips, so she doesn't have to get that
Pretty
close.
dark though, but I do have good dark vision.
This is true. As the night takes over, it's still quite a distance to be able to make out a lot of detail. You'd probably have to get closer. But you're going alone?
No, twins.
Twins going together?
Yeah.
Why don't you both roll stealth check?
Oh, I guess I'm going.
I'm keeping an eye also to see if anything from a great distance. I'm just keeping.
Are
an
we
eye.
in? We're in the woods, right?
There are
No,
no woods.
we're in the plains.
It is
Kidding,
tall
we're in the
grasses.
grasslands.
Roll this big bastard.
32.
White mana, not green mana.
18.
All right.
I'm hiding in a tree.
There's,
There's no.
There's no.
So,
The
as
grass
you,
to me is like a tree.
this is true, actually. It's more of a rose bush. So, as you guys push forward, kind of pushing and stalking through the grass, you come to about 40, 50 feet outside, and there's a little bit of chatter. It's kind of hard to make out at this distance, but the people seem to not necessarily be jovial, almost like they've accepted the circumstances and are just surviving at the time being. There are a few individuals that are armed, though the armor itself seems kind of patchwork, or not the best and most trained of individuals you could see currently guarding this group of survivors. But there are patrols going around, people that are keeping close look. There are torches being lit now as people begin doing the walking.
Do we see anyone that we recognize from Western?
Not from this distance. Like especially with your dark vision, you can make out the outline of the very, very nearest individuals, the guards in particular. But at this distance, nobody catches your eye that you'd be able to make out much detail on that you would recognize.
Could we just sit for 5 or 10 minutes?
Well, the guards are coming through with torches. I don't want them to find us and keep us lying.
We are.
Yeah, but I don't want them to think that.
We are.
Yeah, I think you can stay because you're more hidden than I am. I'm gonna go back to the group. I feel like they're gonna see me.
All right.
You don't know that. As far as you know, you're so hidden.
I'm so hidden. Shit.
Come on.
All right. Just a
I'm just
second.
gonna stay for a couple more minutes longer. Wait, you said they were coming our direction, or there's just
No,
they
they're
were-
just wandering. They're just
Oh,
patrolling.
okay, well,
You're
fine.
paranoid.
All right,
We
fine,
listen
fine,
for a
fine,
bit.
fine.
Okay. Have you both roll perception checks if you could.
All right. 22.
23.
Okay. You two, at about the same time, kind of focus best you can. You have to scoot a little bit closer once the guard that's nearest to you passes by. You kind of wait for your moment, scoot up close, get by one of the tents, and kind of look off to the side. There are a few folks that kind of catch your attention a little bit. There was like one that was Elowen Brist, who was the mother of the first child that went missing in Westruun. You see her with her daughter, who's a little bit older now, that you guys helped save before. Both
throwbacks are
a little
blowing.
dirty, but alive. They kind of wander off. You scan through the crowd, kind of keeping an eye out for the guard as well. No one really catches your attention. You see one older gentleman that walks by, 60s, still, not completely withered away, but older, but carries himself with much importance. Very expensive clothing, reds and blues. It seems like he's attempting to hold a social station, even though in his current location, society has crumbled. He doesn't really catch your attention as anyone you recognize, but the person to the left of him is a very familiar-looking elven man with long brown hair, slicked over and behind his ears. This is Dresvina, who originally contacted you when you arrived at Westruun.
Holy.
About her son?
I don't know who this is.
He's looking a little rough, too. Like, this has not been in kind experience to any of
Okay,
these
let's
people.
go back to the group. Should we go back to the group or should we just tell them to come on in? Dres was like.
Have to go back to tell them to come on in.
Well, we have fixed earrings.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh my
Hey, you guys!
What?
You
What?
guys. Hey, Percy, pay attention.
There we are. Yes. Hello.
Hey,
What?
Guess who I'm looking at right now?
Your brother.
Well,
God, you're so good at that.
Dres fucking Vina. Dres!
Wait, remind us. Who?
Dres Vina was that dude that sent us on our very first mission together, you guys.
Yeah. He protected us.
I was
He's like
mostly
a
drunk
magic
that
user.
Yeah,
time.
Percy,
Oh,
you
at
weren't there yet.
the Winter's Crest Festival.
Yes,
I remember.
yes.
No, yes.
That's not him at all.
No, no, no.
That's
Dresvina
not
was
it
a,
at all.
Percy, you weren't there.
That's Abderus Noja.
Dresvina was the
Aldrich
dick.
Noja.
The guy.
Dresvina's a dick.
Dres Vina was the asshole.
Yeah.
Doesn't he work for someone else?
Well,
Yeah,
You had
something
a
right.
master.
The guy
But
that
do we ever find out
stole
who?
from, kind of.
Hey, keep it
wait,
down.
does
I
he
don't
have
know
the
if people
tower
can
with the
hear
magical
through these
items?
earrings.
Here, I should step in here and clarify. Since y'all
It's been like 3 years.
It's only 3 years ago.
I know. Dresvina came to you under the pretense that he was working for an individual called the Master. He called him his master, who was interested in hiring your services. Originally sent you into the Mage Tower of Eskel Reindarian, the Rumseer, to steal the brass box, the Pearl Top. However, you did not steal it and instead ended up befriending
Eskel.
Archmage.
Right.
Let us pick something.
Yes, and let you pick something from his array of items.
That's right.
Dres then found you guys at your inn a number of weeks later, and his master was very unhappy that you both didn't return with the item and used a very powerful, expensive object that was part of this endeavor and never paid it back. So to pay back your debt, he sent you guys to the Druid Barrow, where you had to retrieve this kind of cortex, this like magical gem that was embedded in the center.
And that was where we fought the golem.
Yep.
Yes.
Where you fought the golem, and you retrieved the cortex successfully, and that's the last you've seen of him.
See? He likes us now. We totally helped him.
But he has magical items.
Well, maybe not. I
Had.
mean, yeah.
We should
What was the
talk to him.
DM? Can you remind me the name of the mother
Tent.
that we spoke to all that time ago?
The one you just mentioned.
You just mentioned.
Elowen.
It's Elowen.
Elowen.
Elowen. I'd rather talk
Pretty
to
sure.
her.
Let me check
Well,
real fast.
regardless, it's people from
Yeah, you
Western.
check your
Yeah, let's get in there. Come on,
Yep.
please.
Do you guys want to just come
Elowen
on
Brist.
in?
Yes.
I don't
Let's
say
go
we're not.
in. Let's go in.
Yeah, we go in.
Make it a nice, pleasant, chattering. Maybe you should sing Scanlan as you approach so that
I would
people know
love
we're
to sing.
nice.
Oh, right now? Sunny days, chasing the dragons away. On our way to where the air is sweet. And you tell me how to kill some dragons.
Go ahead and roll
I got
perform.
nothing.
Roll perform check.
Performance
Yes.
check.
What is it? What is it?
But plus 13.
Okay.
Wait, plus 14.
Plus 14. Okay. So. Okay. So as you guys begin strolling up, immediately you see torches.
Hands up, no weapons.
Yeah. Guards come forward. 2 of them with knocked crossbows. Who goes that? Who? And they all
you
kinda- They look over. They don't really recognize. They're all kind of looking on this source of singing crossbows.
It's a magic carpet ride. Except we burned our magic carpet so we can.
The guards slowly drop their crossbow. What's your business?
Oi, that's not necessary. We're friends.
You've already got enough mouths to feed. Move along.
We're not looking for food. We're here to provide aid if we can, if it's in need. People need our help.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh shit.
Persuasion. You?
I know.
Do it.
10.
I'm so proud of you.
While their crossbows are notched, they haven't lowered them completely. They're still on guard and still nervous of your approach.
We also think there's a woman with you named Elowin. She knows us. We'd like to speak to her. We'll wait here.
One of them notches over the other one. One of the guards who was paying attention walks away, and they all raise their crossbows again and just kind of train them on you guys for the next few minutes.
I mean, it's really not necessary. Even if you were to lose those, it would just be a tickle. I mean, trust me, we come from Restron, alright?
Don't you remember us?
Yeah.
Western?
Winter's Crest Festival,
Vox Machina?
Grog,
All the
How
eyes.
could you forget us?
Wilhelm.
One of the guards kind of takes a moment and kind of gives you an eye and just goes, I remember seeing you around town. You were... Oh, man. It's good to see you.
Right? Yeah, I know. I'm
Hey.
a sight to behold.
Sorry if we gave you any trouble back in the day. I was young and stupid.
Why don't you all lower your crossbows for a second?
I mean no offense, but we're very guarded with your kind at the moment.
Right. Yeah, understandable. Right, we just actually came from Western. It seems to be a bit occupied at the moment.
And he's with us. So
He's
not
different
with
than the
them.
other guys.
No,
See?
not at
He's
all.
got a beard.
No, this came about my own. It's just like, I just got the genetics for it.
Right.
At which point, the guard that had left comes back with Elowin. She walks up with her tightly braided, kind of reddish hair with a little bit of gray on the sides that you can probably has come since the last time you've seen her, and the experience of having her child gone so long has taken a physical toll on her, but there was a smile on her face. Now she kind of looks over and focuses her eyes.
Elowin.
That's them! That's them! Let them in! Let them in! And she runs forward immediately and just gives a big hug to you, Vex.
Oh.
And starts moving through, and there's this big smile and surprise, and you can see her little boy Simon come up to the side there.
Simon.
Simon, who last time you saw, you were retrieving him from the pocket dimension that the Dread Emperor had called his domain. At which point there's a few quick pleasantries as she says hello again. She says, please come in. Please, it's fine. They're trustworthy, and the guards kind of nod, and they follow behind, just not in an aggressive way, but just a being careful kind of a way. So you have two armed individuals flanking you the entire walk that you guys are doing, but it's at ease.
Keyleth goes up to Simon.
Hi.
How old are you now?
This many.
He puts up 9 fingers.
Grown up so well.
Thank you.
And I just give him a big hug.
He kind of freezes up. He's got a little shy at the interaction.
I kneel down next to them and I say, do you want to see something cool? Look at this. And I take off the serpent belt and
Jesus.
put it around my
Out
neck.
of these children.
I named him after you. He's my pet. Do you want to? He's gentle as a lamb. Do you want to tickle his neck?
Yes?
Yeah. Here, you hold him.
Oh
I
God.
set it down around his neck. Don't worry, nothing's gonna happen. It's fine.
He locks up again. Seems to have snakes and women have the same reaction to this poor little boy.
Simon, fart in his ear. Go ahead and fart in his ear.
He gives you a stern look, and the snake kind of traps around for a second.
Keith does a little wind gust and goes.
And starts laughing. Reaches up and kind of rubs his ear from the tickle.
It's good to see you again, kiddo. Come here, Simon Jr. I'll put him back now.
He has a big smile on his face now.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
While that was happening, I sort of pulled aside his mother. Is this everyone that made it out of Western?
So, we're one group. Many went to Kaimon, but they're at capacity now, and based on many of the farming fields that were destroyed or burned by the dragon ransacking, there's only so much food to go around, so they had to turn us away. But there were some small farming communities along the river that were kind enough to take us in, and we're getting by.
But you're searching for a home.
Hoping to find out if anything takes care of the problems in Western. If we should probably talk to Cornelius. I don't know the details of everything happening.
Cornelius, is he the man I saw in the finer robes?
No, Cornelius is rather... He's not very well dressed. He kind of scratches her head. He used to be the bookbinder in Western, but when everything fell apart, he rose up and took the lead in keeping everyone safe. And so, I mean, he won't say it, but we kind of look to him as a leader for now.
Did he work in the Cobalt Reserve?
I think he did business with them, but I don't think he worked directly in it. Here, let me take you.
Oh, wonderful.
And she walks over and kind of, as you guys are talking to Simon, she scoops Simon up and kind of pulls him to her side and kind of gives you guys a smile acknowledgement. Come. Leads you guys.
We're meeting Cornelius.
Okay. Who's Cornelius?
He's a bookbinder.
Never heard of him.
You guys are led through. Most of the folks kind of stop what they're doing and pay attention. Some look wary and guarded. Others, you see their faces brighten up as they begin to connect the dots between the whispers they've heard of Vox Machina throughout the landscape and the individuals walking through. Most everyone seems to have a somewhat visceral emotional reaction once Grog passes by. It does catch you, as a person who's always kind of stuck out against the society as it was, and you've worked hard to a degree to get some respect, especially in that city, having so many eyes on you, and you can feel the while unearned from your standpoint, the heaps of hatred that are thrust upon you by how you look right now is uncomfortable. Eventually, the guards and Elowin bring you guys up to a central tent around what looks like the larger bonfire in the center, where a lot of people are starting to bring their big nets of fish over and starting to kind of divvy it out and set up small cooking arrangements so people for the evening could have their dinner. She kind of walks up to the edge of the tent and speaks to one of the guards, mentions you guys, and they're wanting to talk to Cornelius. The guard leans in, shouts off inside,
Cornelius, you've got some visitors. Is that okay?
A voice kind of muffles through.
That's fine. Go ahead and let him in.
The guard pulls open the tent, and at this point, Elowin says, I'm gonna go get my son some food. If you need anything, just ask around.
See you again.
Thank you, guys. Again. She kind of rubs Simon's head and walks off. And as she walks off with him, he keeps looking over his shoulder at you the whole time, kind of big smile on his face. You guys walk into the tent, and it smells like a tent that's been lived in for a couple weeks. The interior is not fancy by any means. It's blankets and burlap and whatever functions to kind of guard against the relatively muddy shores of the river. And you get a sense that most places here, just because of the landscape and how close it is to the river, mud is tracked everywhere. So it's mostly caked ground. There is a small cot on the far edge, and there is a table set up and some elements of dried fish that are kind of being pulled from and snacked on the side. And there are two guards, and you can see what appears to be Cornelius coming to greet you as you enter. A man in his mid-40s, blondish hair with a scruffy, unkept beard. You get the sense that he's a working man. His hands look calloused. He's got a layer of just dirt and grime across his brow that tells you he's he's definitely one who gets in the thick of it when it's needed, and you can kind of see why in this circumstance people put trust into a person that can rise up amongst all the chaos from simple means and kind of prove themselves to want to help everybody. And the moment he smiles, you immediately see also why people follow him. He's got this bright, toothy white smile, and he puts his hand out immediately to each of you.
Pleasure to meet you. I'm Cornelius.
Vexolia.
So, I'm told that you are all here to talk to me. What's this about?
We know that you've been driven out of your homes by an attack of dragon or dragons. How many have menaced your city?
Well, we had a council saying that we have upwards 3 dragons that came through here and tore into the city, and they were gone for a while, and we had hoped they weren't going to return. But that's when he kind of looks over to you, Grog, and says, that's when the savages came in and took what was left. I mean no offense to that. I recognize you. I've seen you around the town before. You seem like you're not like your ilk.
No, I'm sorry I don't know who you are.
That's okay. No one really knows who I am, and I want to keep it that way when all this blows over.
Understandable.
Don't like all the attention.
How long have you been nomadic for?
We're going into our 2nd week now, I think. We sent a few of our most able-bodied up north in hopes of trying to figure out if the city was safe to return to, and, well, only a few made it back, and those that did said it was a bloodbath.
It's quite dangerous there right now.
Rough.
Yeah.
How many do you have here in your encampment with you?
Let's see. He kind of takes a moment to think and kind of does a couple marks on the dirt in front of him to do a count. You can see he's not a very numbers-guided person.
I like him.
So I'd say we got probably about close to 60, 70 people left. We used to have more. And we lost the scouting parties up north, and well, these past 4 days we've had a few of these orcish fuckers been raiding the outskirts of our camp every night and taking goods, people.
What's your current destination?
We got none. We're just staying here and staying alive.
What made you camp out here?
Fish, mainly. I mean, all the farming grounds are destroyed or they're being guarded currently, and there's no space for us in Kaimon. We can keep going east, but...
If I could be selfish for a moment, have you seen Wilhelm? Pike Trickfoot, her grandfather.
A small, older gnome?
We got a few older gnomes from the city. I don't think we have any among us, though, no.
Fine. I thought I'd ask.
If we could help you relocate quite a ways away, would you be open to that?
How do you mean?
There's a city. A lot of the refugees from other cities that have been destroyed by the dragons are finding their way there. And
Percy actually has family who's in charge there.
we could give you safe passage.
Possibly
Very
find you
quick,
someplace to
safe
work.
passage.
Can they account for 70 extra people in Whitestone?
We lost a lot during the attack with the Briarwoods. There's
Right.
room, but we can maybe make room for a few more.
There's farmland.
It's
There
better
are
than-
some empty buildings.
I appreciate the offer.
It hasn't
And,
been touched by dragons yet.
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 I'll tell you what. We greatly appreciate the offer, and we're liable to take you up on that at some point in the near future. But right now, we have too many of our people that aren't accounted for to the south. We got a couple scouting groups that are trying to find out where these orcs are, where they've taken them, and see if we can retrieve our own before we go ahead and find a new place to live.
How many are missing right now?
Oh, well, we've lost 11 in the last few nights of exchange to Blade, and we've lost about 9 to the actual bands themselves, so those 9 unaccounted for, we're hoping to keep
If
up
we
on.
found them, would you be more likely to take your people to somewhere safe?
And what is necessarily stopping you from at least sending a handful of women and children ahead? Families that don't need to be nomadic.
Do you have the means to keep them safe for that kind of travel? That's a long way up to Whitestone. We
We
don't have
have-
the guards to keep them up on that.
We have very safe means of travel.
A shortcut, one would say.
They'd be there in an instant.
I don't know anything about them weird magic stuff, but you seem like a reliable group.
You can tell we're a motley bunch of assholes. We've seen shit and we've done shit and we can do shit.
Ain't that the truth? Well,
we'd also like to talk to you, perhaps, to see if you've seen some shit. We're looking for something out here.
Oh.
Are we?
We are. Well, you've been traveling. We're looking for a creature who may have what we need to help defeat these dragons.
Possibly a bit deeper into the Frostworld.
into the Frostweald.
Yes.
That's what we're thinking. Our scouts are saying these orcs are holed up anyway.
Really?
Yeah, that's useful.
So that's where we've been sending our folk and follow them out there.
Is
Only
there
one
anyone-
group went in after them and they never came back, so...
No one's returned who's come back?
No, we've gotten one group that came back. That's how we know they're there, but they were
They
just
have?
scouting party. They got to the outskirts and came back.
Can we speak to them?
I think they're out right now, actually. Going to get more information. Sorry.
Well, that works out well, then. That's, we can go up that direction, perhaps take care of this problem, possibly?
Yes.
It's on the way.
I wouldn't mind a good stretch.
Kill some orc.
I could use some breathing.
Do you know your way around the Frostweald at all?
Can't say I do. But I do have some stake in this personally, if you don't mind me asking. Don't have much to offer you. At all, really. Other than my gratitude. But, top of a few friends of ours that have found their way wherever these savage creatures are stationed. One of the individuals that was taken in the raid 2 nights ago was my brother Cyrus. Don't know if he's still amongst the living, but if you are indeed planning on taking a look at where these orcs are and bringing folks back safe, you could just keep an eye out for them.
Well, I'll tell you, in times like these, it will feel good to be able to do a bit of good.
Yeah.
What does your brother look like?
He's about 15 years younger than me. Shaggy brown hair, bit of a puffy goatee. He looks like a lazy man. He is a lazy man, but I love him. If you're looking for someone who's hiding in the corner shaking their boots, it's probably him.
Understood.
Check the corners.
It's his defense mechanism.
A very safe one.
I hope. His eyes go a little colder at that moment. I hope.
Well, we've been to the Frostworld before. I'm
I
not
s-
afraid to go in there again.
I say we take the evening to rest and first thing in the morning head out.
Would there be any injured members of your camp that would want to head out in the morning to Whitestone? Somebody that needs any medical attention?
There are plenty of folks who aren't feeling too well. Illness and disease, unfortunately, tend to go hand in hand with these type of nomadic lifestyles. Yeah, we can probably have about 7 or 8 people that could use some relatively immediate attention. A couple survivors of the recent raids. If you can indeed do this, you might be saving some lives here.
Are we camping the rest of the night?
Yes.
That's why I said.
Yeah, we promise you no one will bother you tonight.
Question. Can I do my transport via plans as a ritual cast to not burn a slot level?
Nope.
That's what I
It would
thought.
say it next to the spell ritual.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Nah.
Okay, Keyleth spends the rest of the evening burning up my remainder spell slots to do curing on those who need it.
Okay. You guys are given a relatively ramshackle tent of which you can sleep for the evening. Cooked fish, that's about all they have to offer, with a few leftover potatoes that appear to have been recently either located amongst their remaining crates. You have no idea, but a passable meal is presented if you'd like, and a place that has cloth over your head.
I don't need to sleep tonight. I'll be on the watch.
Boy.
Should we scour
I'm
the
sleeping
camp?
tonight. I don't know what's wrong with him.
Grandfather? I mean, I know he said there are no gnomes, but
There's only 60 people. I feel like he'd know 60.
yeah.
That's like this many, but
And it's not a lot of gnomes. I'm assuming it's a handful of gnomes.
yeah.
Right. I just. I don't know. I wish Pike were here.
Yeah, me too.
Always wish Pike was here.
Well,
You do recall last time you were in Whitestone, you left the other half of your Gatestone with Pike.
I'll write a letter.
Want to write write a letter.
I'll write a letter that will travel with them to Whitestone and
Oh.
Oh, that's a good
That's
idea.
wonderful, and she can pop over.
take about a minute.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, we'd have to send them tonight, though.
No.
In the morning.
Maybe go in the morning and just go find her immediately.
Yeah. Just task someone to find her immediately, and then as soon as she gets the message, she'll be to us.
All right.
I've still got the other one. Oh, yeah.
Great, we take the night then. Let's do it.
I write a letter to my sister letting her know that I do apologize that we're sending more people, but it's necessary. And I write her a letter insisting that Pike be sent via stone immediately.
Okay.
DEARCASS, how are you? I'm fine.
What the fuck are you
Everybody else is too.
Wow, you know what I was doing!
What was that?
You are a nerd.
A theater nerd,
You
yeah.
are a theater nerd.
Wow.
Secret Garden, ladies and gentlemen.
Secret Garden the musical. It's magical.
All right, guys. So,
We
as
have
you
the break so Tals and I can go make out in the other room.
don't go on break for that. Just move your seating arrangement.
Wait,
And suddenly the YouTube hits just go through the roof.
what injured people are going back? Have we met these people yet? Can we meet
haven't
them?
ever met
Let's
them.
go
Let's go
meet the
find the
injured.
injured.
Yeah.
So you guys are led with Keyleth as well. There are like 2 armed guards that are like hobbling their way through their patrols tonight, as they've wounded in the previous orc raid that happened in the couple nights beforehand. There are a number of just relatively sick people, a couple of children, just either whether it be having to eat whatever was around to stay alive, but some of the food had spoiled in travel, or just catching disease, as when you have clusters of people in cold environments, especially cold, wet environments like this at night. It does tend to happen. Nothing like
Conflict.
seriously life-threatening, but, definitely worrisome.
Well, I've tried to find the one who's the most able-bodied, right? We're going to need someone to go find Pike or deliver a message, right?
Yes.
It's going to be whoever's organizing it, and
Is
whoever
someone
goes through
going?
first.
Is someone going who's not injured to transport these people?
Possibly. I mean, you can organize whoever you'd like.
Yeah.
Well, I
If there's
started
somebody
tending to
you can bring
the
along.
children first.
Okay. So you tend to the children, helping them feel comfortable, deal with any wounds, scrapes, relative inconveniences, and it's easy enough for you to take the moment to cure disease if need be.
Can we find any families with children and maybe see if there's able bodies in there
That's a good
that
idea.
we can send through?
Okay. Yeah, you managed to, and with Elowin and her son Simon as well.
Yes.
Um,
Maybe Elwyn can go.
Elowin would be perfect.
Well, remember, we were able to get about 25 or so people through.
How many
last
sick
time
people
with
are
the
there?
spell. How many sick people are
7?
there?
he said?
He said about 7 to 8 people that could use it, so you can get a bunch of other folks through as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I talked to Elwyn and asked if she can go find Pike in the morning, if she wants to go through and all that kind of stuff.
I'd be happy to.
You remember what Pike looks like?
Yeah, about your size, lightish hair.
Hair the color of the sunset, eyes like waves that crash in the night, breasts supple, firm.
Okay, let's get it.
True.
Get the Right. Yes, I remember. I'll find her. Yes, I remember.
Smell of morning dew as it touches.
She begins to cover Simon's ears. All right, I think we should turn in for the evening, but yes, I'll be happy to take care of
Also of note, you're going to be going through a tree.
What?
Just go with it. You'll be
Well,
going...
you didn't have to tell them that now. We could have just let it been a surprise.
It's really fun, actually.
kind
It's
of
like a little
frightening, though,
walkway.
because I know it's coming.
You'll pop right out in Whitestone.
It's
It's,
still a little
amazing.
weird for me.
Is
to be
it?
honest.
Right.
No worries,
No.
All right. So as the evening comes to completion, you're taking guard for a good portion of the evening, taking watch.
I pop Trinket out and I sleep on it.
Very attentive.
Curls up. It's
Hugs
like a
and hugs.
yeah, warm, fuzzy. Trinket makes for a very good bed for one.
Yes.
I'm going to curl into the butt end, which is all I get. Is all I
Yeah.
ever got when we traveled together.
Yeah.
The butt end.
But
And he
a
farts
Trinket.
on you all the time.
I fart on him all the time.
It's just a fart exchange, back and forth forever. Well, that got weird. Did you want to do anything for the evening?
No.
Make a perception check.
Oh boy.
Oh, crud. Big 2. What do
Big
you got?
watch, big watch. 9.
Whoa.
Okay. All right. Evening goes by without a hitch.
Wow.
What would you have seen? What would you have seen?
You all come to consciousness. You eventually get your rest as well for the evening.
What didn't you see? Tell me
At this
what
point,
you didn't see.
the tent city is kind of back to a bustling sound of folks going about their business for the day, what kind of business can be done. The people that you've requested be sent over to Whitestone have been gathered on the outside, the western side of this small city area, and some of the guards are there prepared to greet you in preparation for sending these people over.
Keyleth, before we do this, there are no trees here.
What? What do you mean?
There's
What?
one.
Are there
there's at
trees
least
here?
one tree.
No. It's a plain. I mean, there are the occasional, like, small tree kind of scattering clusters of
Why
them
didn't
around,
we
but you're in the
I
grass.
thought we were on the edge of a forest.
There's
The
no
forest is
forest
south
here.
of you guys.
We gotta walk them to the
We'll walk 'em to
forest.
the
How
We
fucking
can
far
do
are
that.
trees?
We can do that.
I'd say probably
4 days journey.
Talking shit.
No, from this area, it's most of a day's travel.
Oh,
I mean, there are trees closer to the forest. It's that far of
Yeah.
I
we
just
can
need a tree to
find-
fit people through. I need a person
giant,
with tree.
A giant
to find a tree large enough to do this is probably going to be about 2 hours walking distance.
Okay,
That's
we can walk
fine.
for 2
Yeah,
hours.
That's a nice
fine.
morning
You know
hike.
what? You know
That's
what?
barely
I'm
good.
gonna fly
Why
up.
don't you go?
I'm gonna and fly up and find a fucking tree.
Oh, you're gonna scout?
I'm gonna scout for a tree.
All right, go make a perception check.
Why didn't you pick that as the map?
I didn't think about it.
Yeah.
I forgot.
That was a great decision.
23.
23. You find actually hiding just around the bend on a series of small hills that butt up against the southwestern side of the Formir Basin. There is a small cluster of trees, one of which is the largest of the group that may function as a functional this that is only about a 30-minute walk from these.
Hey.
That's doable. There we
fly
go.
back down and I tell him. I look along the path though, make sure it's safe. The walking back. Like,
Yeah.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully nobody saw the comely half-elf flying through the bright blue sky.
I wear turquoise to blend in
Yeah,
with the blue surroundings.
yeah.
Well, didn't blend in too well, as when you coasted over a number of the families and kids that were prepared were pointing up, "Mom, she's flying!" And, people were excited to see you just take off into the distance. It was quite a display.
Yes.
Well done.
I do some circles around and wave.
Maybe you could join Dr. Dranzel in the circus.
I hang off of it as I come down, like, woo! And then come back up.
Oh, go ahead and
cold killer,
roll a
that one.
dexterity check.
Dexterity or acrobatics?
Dexterity.
Oh, damn.
Dexterity.
Outstanding.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Outstanding.
BAM!
I said as I come down, it was low. I was low.
You said you were sure as high as you could be, right?
No, that's not what I said.
So as Vex takes a moment to do some unique tricks with her elaborate and long-running experience directing brooms across the sky, she gets a bit cocky.
Yeah.
And
Shocking.
does the look ma no hands moment. And however, in doing so, the broom sputters out from under the grasp of her legs and suddenly goes limp as it begins to fall,
Oh, shit.
almost as fast as you are. As you both begin to just
I
plummet.
grab for it, and hooked as I'm grabbing for it.
Nope.
Go
Can't
ahead.
fight the power of the one.
Unfortunately, you don't have any momentum to go forward, and it's already coasted about 15, 20 feet away from you, and there's nowhere to swim. All the kids are like, yay, cheering, and all of a sudden you start falling, and everyone goes, starts yelling.
Which child in the crowd is going to become Robin? I'm so excited.
I want you to go ahead and roll an acrobatics check.
Oh, man.
Oh no.
This is how we make a
that's the worst.
vigilante.
Okay, 25.
Whoa.
25, okay. So you only suffer 9 points falling damage as you hit the ground into a tumble, land, arms out, and catch the broom, smiling amongst the serious pain in your legs and back.
I bet you thought I was really falling.
All the kids are like, yay! Start cheering, clapping. Even the parents start clapping. The guards start clapping. Like, that was genuinely impressive. Played it off.
Oh, that's so funny.
Just a
Blood
little-
trickles out of the air from the brain trauma.
Does the broom just fall, or does it shoot off like a missile? What?
It shoots off for a second, just carrying the momentum of the propulsion, and then it falls limp as it no longer has the immediate connection with the person. But she did catch it after she tumbled. And
Oh,
landed.
okay, that's cool.
Working on it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna work on that trick, you guys, and it's gonna be amazing.
I think it's perfect.
Blood for the blood gods.
All right. Finding the tree, you guys walk and bringing the families and the children and the people that were chosen to go to Whitestone. Keyleth, you create your transport via plant spell.
Yes.
The doorway opens and it barely fits onto this one kind of half-dead willow that's kind of crossing the side there. Everyone kind of
We form the line.
Climb
right?
through. You have to move
Here
quickly.
we go. Go.
pushing through. At the very end, Elowen's like the last one through, and she's holding the letter, and she looks back and says, "Promise," and then leaps through right as it closes in the tree. The two other guards that were with you guys are just kind of watching this whole thing with their eyes wide open.
Right, glad you let us in, aren't you?
Yeah.
I turn to him and I go, high five. Okay.
At this point, you see two figures walking towards you at this southern forest.
Two figures walking towards us?
Towards you guys, rather hastily.
I draw my whip.
Okay. Whips out.
Second time
You glance over and
Very Monty Python.
easily enough to see it is Dresvina and this older individual are both rushing up. Dress has his hand up. Excuse me, I'm sorry, pardon me.
Yes, hello? Hello?
It has been some time, everyone. Dres, pleasure to see you again.
Yes, we remember. Hi.
Wondrous. I'm here with, and as he gestures, the old man kind of puts his hand in front and goes, "Would you please just let me talk for once? Hello. I am, has he even given you my, I am Master Qual. Pleasure to meet all of you.
Qual?
I was the collector that had hired you in previous times, as Dress has recently made me aware. And while our track record has been spotty, you seem to be rather able-bodied, and whispers this morning that have come to my ears mention that you have interest in returning to Western. Is that correct?
To set it free, yes.
Wondrous.
It's on the list.
Looks over to Dres, just goes, yes, well, you see, the master here lives within Western, and I'm talking, I've got this. My abode, which is a relatively humble structure of 2 stories, bricks and dark wood, about southeast of the town square, right by the Fountain Crossroads. I'm sure you've seen it before. Well, since this whole endeavor has happened, it has usurped a bit of progress in my experimentation, and I would be remiss if I didn't request your assistance in perhaps retrieving a very important piece of my collection, so I might continue this research in this desolate place.
What are the subjects of your experimentation?
Various things. I enjoy finding out the base elements of existence and life.
Insight check.
This is interesting. Oh, go ahead.
Insight check.
Lying. 18.
18.
God damn it.
Oh, do you want to do whispers?
No, I just.
Dagger is one of the shirts
No.
that's available.
I just had it.
Is Strong Jaw Ale?
Sit on it now.
Strong Jaw Ale
good.
available for
Oh,
sale?
he's frustrated.
Check it out.
All right.
Deacon Sunny.
That's very interesting. Did you know that I'm a collector as well, actually?
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
great.
Of specifics.
Of what?
Specifics, and I see that you
Well,
have not really handed any over.
Not, it's maybe a bit beyond your understanding.
I
Very few things
highly
beyond
doubt
his
that.
understanding.
All right, very well.
Bond.
I appreciate the synergies between various elements and the ability to link the essence with that of a living or organic entity
or the transition of such living essence into what is normally non-living matter.
So you're a necromancer.
No, don't deal with that ridiculous stuff.
It's talking about transmutation of some kind.
Yes, thank you. The transitioning of essences or sparking essence within what was once non-living matter. I'm talking about elements. I'm not talking about flesh.
Like natural elements?
Like golems.
Yes.
My God, it's the veganism of necromancy. It's kind of dull.
What was that?
Nothing.
Now,
Mud people?
I previously asked
many
you to
alchemical.
to retrieve an item in the past. That was part of this research, and I was nearing a breakthrough, I believe. However, if you could find your way into this abode and retrieve for me, and it's in the basement amongst my work desk area. It's a simple dark iron and cobalt circlet, a band, if you will. If you could retrieve that for me, I would make it quite worth your while and be ever grateful and in your service.
What are we talking about? A pile of coin or something else?
As I said before, I am quite the collector, and while I do hate to relinquish my grasp on various parts of this collection, for someone who does me a grand favor, I am willing to look the other way as one might disappear.
What does the circlet do?
It's just more of an experimental piece.
Come on, don't treat us like a bunch of fucking assholes. It's in the middle of shit right now. We're not going to go in there for a trinket. It's obviously something very worthwhile. You have a better chance with us if you're honest.
Drez at this point steps forward and goes,
I would appreciate if you respected the master for his research. He is going to offer you a great guide.
Oh, shut up, Drez.
Yeah, you're an asshole. You're the biggest asshole. You can. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to you.
What?
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to you.
so perhaps we need to, at which point he looks over and the master's kind of like,
About time someone called you on it.
Master Qual?
Qual, yes.
We're looking for the vestiges of divergence.
Scat!
Oh, is that not? Am I not supposed to say that?
Well, I was.
Do
a
you
little
know where
bit
those
more
are?
subversive.
That's what we want.
Yeah.
If you can offer us one of those, we'll do business with you.
No,
Otherwise,
I-
we're gonna fuck off.
It's
Wait, he might. Look, Master Qual. Let's finish what you were saying first.
yes. I've heard of this title before. You say you're seeking them, are you?
I am. Not that.
Where are you seeking these? Whereabouts are you off to?
Well, we were
We
headed
don't know
towards-
where we don't know where they
There
are.
are all sorts of different places. We're trying to
We
figure
don't
that
know
out
where
right
they
now.
Well,
We're
you're-
not
oh,
exactly
wait.
sure. We're not exactly sure, Keyleth.
We
I'm
thought
sorry.
you might know.
How is what we're seeking less important than where we're seeking it? I'm really confused.
Oh, just in
Really?
case we mention where we might be
Well, why
looking
didn't
for
we say
them
where we
in
were
front
going?
of these people.
No. Because what if he goes to find them?
Don't worry. This is.
Does he look like the man capable of going and finding things? He's trying to send us back into his own goddamn basement to get his own shit.
Let's get
See,
back to
look,
your thing.
there is a woman who speaks both her mind and a mind of quite acute truth.
She is cute.
Yeah, that's great.
Is it morning yet? Should we? Can Pike come join us yet?
She's probably
being soft
It's
right
like
now.
the letter is making it. It's
as you guys are having this conversation, there's a little a flash of a divine energy before you, and a slight popping sound as out of the middle of the air next to you, there comes jogging in a freshly winded, fully armored Pike.
Whoa! Crap on a What an entrance!
If you speak of the cleric, she will appear.
See, you start arguing and you just make a gnome. This is what happens.
I'll
It's
run
really
over and I'll pick up Pike and I'll spin her around in a big bear hug.
argue.
Hey, Grog.
There's a lot of gnomes.
No, it doesn't.
my little buddy Pike, we missed you.
Oh, I missed you guys.
Hello, Pike.
Hey, guys. Oh, who are these two?
Oh,
At this point, Master Qual is going through a series of notes. Goes, not to.
This
Pike,
is
do you
Master
remember-
Qual.
I'm fairly certain this gnome was not created.
And do you remember Drez?
Oh, yes, Mr. Vina.
Yes,
Dresby.
it is a delight to see you as well, small one.
Hi.
Well, this grew very complicated.
Well, Master Qual,
Yes.
let's lay the cards on the table. If we find this thing of yours in your basement, and if we go to your home. We are certainly going to go into the basement and find it now, regardless. We're going to figure out what it is before we give it to you anyway. The world is dangerous right now, and it is not appropriate to just be handing mystical artifacts of great strength willy-nilly to anybody who asks. The world is dangerous, and we need to make sure that power is flowing in the correct direction. Now, you can either be forthright with that and get your property, or we can find it in your basement and experiment on it till we know what it is.
Good luck even in attempting such an endeavor.
I have very good luck attempting these endeavors.
Well, let's just say that it's a device that, when completed, under the speciality of my own training and studies, would enable me the means of personal defense to get me through these rather difficult and dangerous times, as I am not getting any younger, and it seems that we're having entities of great power, mischief, and intent on destruction continuously tearing down my very doorways. He looks off in the direction of Western. I would feel more comfortable if I could keep myself well guarded, and that is what the circlet is intended to provide.
Tell you what, Master Quall.
Yes?
We're not heading there now. But
Good.
we'll be going back. And when we do, we will find your home, and we will search out this circlet.
Well, hold on. Before we just say no, what's the reward? Do we know what you're paying for this?
Well,
I'm wondering, Master
You just said-
Quall.
We get to
Hang on.
A simple trade of my collection. You
Master-
bring me one of my items, and I gift you one of mine as well.
All right.
I personally
I've-
feel this is reasonable.
I'm curious if you could be more beneficial in paying us with information, with knowledge.
As well as something in your collection.
I'm more than willing to offer information for trade. It is quite a grand trade indeed, if that is acceptable.
No, we
As
would
well.
want something as well physically.
This is a deposit of information.
All right. Then, as part of the deposit, what do you require of me?
Are you familiar with a sphinx named Osisa?
Can't
Resides
No,
up.
no.
No?
What does he know, perhaps, of the no,
Are
no?
Are you familiar with any other sphinxes that reside in this area? Do you know the address?
I'm sorry, but they don't really wander in open daylight.
Do you know where they wander?
In darkness, if they don't wander in open daylight.
Okay, it gives a curious look to both of you. I'm not a master of mythology. I do not know of such entities and where they might reside or exist. I apologize.
Well, you do seem to be a master of items. We are looking for certain special vestiges.
So you say. And you're saying this Sphinx may be one to help you in this endeavor?
Well, no, maybe not. Maybe
Not
I don't
sure
know.
yet.
It's a long walk.
We thought maybe he could help us find them, but maybe you could be of a similar service.
What I do have, and he kind of turns around. Come with me to my tent, please. I may have something that could be of service to you.
Sure, I'm supposed to go to strange.
I give Pike a hug as we walk to his tent.
Okay.
This time.
Hey.
Hello, dear. Hi. Actually, I pull Pike aside and say, or not aside. I just ask her, "How's Whitestone? What's going on there?"
Well, it's okay. I think I got to the point where I couldn't build any more, heal any more people. I needed a little adventure. But everything is as you would think it would be.
No dragon attacks.
No, none at the moment. So we've been trying to hold down the place as much as we can. And Gilmore seems to be okay.
Oh.
Good.
I did not go up to Pike. I hung way the fuck back.
Okay. All right. You guys eventually make your way back to the small what you call it, outpost at this point, to the tent of Dresvina and Master Quall. Master Quall steps inside. You hear him rummaging through some things. Something rolls and breaks, and you hear, "Oh, damn it!" on the inside. Comes back out and goes,
All right. So,
this, and he holds up this small glass bauble, and the inside has a spinning, looks like a brass kind of gyroscope type interior.
this item when clasped and concentrated on, should light up any sort of nearby magical incantations or enchantments. This, if you are in the presence of such objects as you're seeking, should be quite helpful in locating their presence. It does not have an incredibly long range, but it should at the very least be somewhat helpful.
That's pretty cool. Thank you.
You're giving this to us?
I'm
Thank you.
lending it to you. Should you wish this to be part of the trade instead of something from my collection, this could
Lending is perfectly agreeable.
Now, I've lent you something in the past, and not only did it not return to me, but I had to extract the funds by forcing another contract on you. Can I trust you to complete this endeavor?
You can trust us as far as Grog can throw me.
It's pretty fucking far.
You can trust her.
Deal. He hands it out.
We will make our way into the city, and when we do, we will look for your items.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Or we could just send Vex on a broom right now to get it solo.
Wait, what?
We're not flying a half-elf into the city on a broom that she's already fallen off of in the last 24 hours.
Archers!
I am recovering a bit right now, but thank you for the wonderful
I think you
ideas,
could do it.
Gatlin.
I think you could do it.
I appreciate the vote of confidence.
He is a tactician.
Hey, what might this item be called?
I still think you should
Circles.
go talk to Thordak on your own.
I haven't
so-
really named it, actually. I made it for myself. Call it what you like.
How about the Hunk of Qual?
The hunk of qual.
Should you wish, certainly.
Didn't we have a conversation about letting him name things? I feel like we had that conversation at some point.
Enjoy carrying amongst yourselves the hunk of qual.
Thank you, Dresdrina. It's hasn't been a pleasure. Nice to see you.
Dres kind of
It'll be a hunk of...
Indeed. All right. Good luck.
And can I take Pike around the shoulder and lead her out of the tent?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right.
Lay down by your knee.
Hey, Pike.
Yeah.
So, I'm glad things have been good at Whitestone. They've been good, yeah?
Yeah, they've been all right. I mean, it's okay. I've been missing you guys, though.
Yeah, we miss you a whole lot. Listen, I've got some rough news, actually. We made it back to Restrin, and the city's kind of been ransacked and overtaken. It was attacked by a bunch of dragons, and what's worse is that after it was attacked, you know that herd of wandering Goliaths that left me for dead in the woods?
Of course.
Yeah, they've kind of taken control of the city, and I think it's my family that's in there.
Oh, no.
Yeah, look, we wanted to go in. I wanted to look for Wilhan, but we haven't done it yet. And
Have you heard anything else? Do you think they're okay?
I don't know. Some of us went in via mist, and they didn't see him, but they don't really know what he looks like. The place looks pretty rough. He's not here in this little encampment. I'm not really sure where he is.
Okay. Well, I wonder if we should go look for him.
Yeah, I want to, but look, listen. I'm afraid of putting everybody in the group in jeopardy. They're gonna be there in the city, and I was wondering what you might think about going to look for maybe a few of the more vestiges, trying to find Osesa's mate and seeing if we can find anything that can help us, because it's gonna be a fight, right? And you know me, I fucking love a fight, but...
That's a lot of them.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I think we should wait till we're fully prepared.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think it's safe any other way.
I missed you so much!
Oh God, I miss you too!
And I cry a little bit into my beard and I wipe it away. I'm like, oh, the pollen out in these fields is awful!
It's okay, Grog. I give him a hug and I take my blue scarf and I pat his eyes.
It's raining! Right, well, as soon as we find this out, if we find nothing, I promise, I pledge to you, that we will find Wilhand.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So
Yeah.
is the task then to go find the orcs that are keeping their people hostage up in the
We
Frostweald?
head into the Frostworlds, we find the orcs and send them back and keep going and find this this sphinxy mate.
Did we have any other information of where he is in the Frostweald, or did we just know Frostweald?
We just got him to Frostworlds. Isn't it, Pike?
The information that you received was somewhere in the base of the Stormcrest Mountains,
Oh, that's more helpful than.
past the Frostworld.
Through the
Past to the Frostweald?
Through it to the
Through
mount,
it?
the base of the mountain.
Oh. Of
So
the
we
what
could-
mountain?
Stormcrest Mountains.
Stormcrest Mountain.
That's a real place.
Actually, hey, Pike.
Yeah.
Look, I've been holding on to something. I think you might like it. I had these gauntlets of ogre power.
What?
Yeah, and I can't wear them anymore because I got some new stuff. And if you wear it, your strength score goes up to 19.
What?
Do you want them? You have to attune to them.
Do you think they'll fit?
I think they might. Strength? I don't know, though.
Do you know what 19 means?
We'll put them in the dryer.
Isn't it like a French dish?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would love to wear those.
Right, and I give Pike the gauntlets of ogre power.
Okay.
So
I'll see a picture of them.
As you guys take a short rest to prepare for this, Ashley takes some time with the gauntlets, and while you're kind of looking them over and taking your own armored gauntlets off and replacing them with these, your hand goes. It's like placing a baseball into a bucket. It's just it's so big around your arm, but then as you kind of take a moment to see the metal and reflect upon it, you can feel the kind of hum of a magical energy that begins to kind of invisibly intertwine with your forearm as the metal begins to creak almost, and it shrinks down, encases itself to your forearm. While it doesn't match the metal of your armor, the kind of silver gold theme that goes on along it with this kind of weird ogreish face that's built into the plate there, you feel suddenly this surge of strength begin to spill through your body, and you're pretty confident that this may be useful in the near future. So
You're stronger than Grog now.
you are technically now stronger than Grog.
I let out a battle cry.
Yeah, and I go to give her a fist bump.
And I fist bump him.
And it hurts you a little bit.
jams your finger.
Oh shit! Pike is so strong.
Holy shit.
What was the name of the mountain?
Nice, Pike.
Pike, what was your strength before?
13.
Okay.
Wow.
So it's
just
at
automatic?
a 19, you're now at a +4 as opposed to a +1 to all your hit and damage with your physical weapon. So
Holy mackerel.
You just Tyler Durden'd out, son.
yeah. So
Yeah.
so on your sheet where it has your attack bonus with your mace or with your Morning Star and the damage, wherever it's add a +3 to both the attack bonus and damage.
What? All right.
So
Because right now it's at my attack bonus is +7.
yeah, it's
So
now
I add a
plus
3 to that.
it's now +10.
Holy moly!
That's so cool! You're a beast!
Oh, God. Okay.
Little golden bullet.
Yes. I can't find a pencil. That's okay. I'll make a note. Do it later.
No worries.
I am unprepared. Okay. Yes, I'm unprepared for all this strength. Okay.
Alien.
Awesome. Okay, sweet.
Right, so now we have all our stuff.
Yeah.
Should we make our way towards that area they said that the Orc Raiders were coming from?
Yeah, it's a couple days from here.
On foot travel, it's about a day and a half.
Or mist form.
Mist form, we'll get there by nightfall.
But we
What's
can't
the
use
wo-
it because she already
use it
used
today.
to travel through the trees. Sorry. But we saved all those people, Scanlan.
Pike, can you make us mist?
No, I can't do anything like that.
All right.
Let's
Yeah, what's-
walk.
I feel like I haven't spent any time with Vax.
What's the weather like?
With Vax? Oh, he's around. You know, he's probably just sulking.
Yeah,
I walk away.
yeah. You glance back and see Vax towards the back of the group, Noticing this conversation, Vax immediately turns around and walks away and kind of dodges around one of the nearby tents.
Big nope to that one.
What is the weather like outside? Like, what's
Actually, today it's pretty spotty clouds, but blue sky. It's actually pretty good weather versus a lot of the rainfall that you had over in Vasselheim.
cold, snowy on the ground?
No. I mean,
Just chill?
It's because you're getting a little further south than the northern area of it. The temperature is probably around high 70s, low 80s.
Okay, cool.
It is going to get cold though once we head into the frost world.
In the meantime,
We
she
had
can
all
love
those
your
fancy
house while she
cloaks.
lies.
I had like winter's cloaks for all of us
Yeah, I
before.
still have mine.
Does everybody still have their winter's cloaks from a long time ago?
Yeah.
Oh wow, yes, look at that.
I didn't burn
This
it.
was
Yep.
out of disgusting,
Let's
like
go.
cloaker flesh.
Yeah, we can just have that.
Just
to
gonna
warm us
walk?
up.
Do these refugees have any horses or anything?
They're refugees.
Oh, I don't know.
The horses they do have are currently forwarded to wagons and look to be more beasts of burden for if they have to move to carry most of their goods with them as opposed to riding horses.
Yeah, come on, man. Let's just hoof it.
All right, we'll walk.
All right,
Oh my gosh, are we walking?
we're gonna walk.
You guys, we haven't walked anywhere in so long.
It's like we're back
We're
in
getting
New York
exercise.
It's like we're level 3 again.
And those horses will survive
Right.
because you didn't take them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucked up.
I swear,
really
at some point, I feel like I
that's
paid
really
for a really
fucking
nice
sad.
mount, and
Take
I
a
feel like
walk,
at some point
save
I
a
want to take
horse.
advantage of that again.
It's a good Vox Machina bumper still.
My other horse is walking.
Coming to the Geek and Thunder store, dude.
Yeah. All right, you guys make your fellowship trek southward with the sweeping
Drone
camera,
shot.
drone
I
shot.
constantly keep an eye out for anything in the front of us
Okay.
and behind us.
Thankfully, most of these fields, varying degrees of grass height, but for the most part, it's a pretty wide vision of where you're heading.
I paint pictures in the clouds as we go.
Okay.
Well, that's good. That'll definitely not let anyone know magical people are on their way.
Just point arrows in the opposite direction. Just point arrows in the
graffiti as
clouds
we
in
go.
the opposite direction that we're going.
Can I insight check Vax?
Sure. Roll an insight check.
Oh, natural 20.
Oh, no.
I believe you.
Can't see it.
This never happens!
You just saw all of his dirty dreams.
What does she see and read on your
File on the
face and
computer, mark
body
them up
language,
for me.
Vax?
Oh, I gotta say this?
Yeah.
I can say it if you want to.
I don't want these assholes to know what I'm thinking. I don't know.
Don't worry,
Can't
we'll
whisper
text
to
her.
her.
You can text it to her real
Yeah,
fast if
text
you
it
want.
to her.
Yeah, I'll text it to you.
But put it
Okay.
on Twitter so that everybody else knows what it is.
Nope.
I'll post it.
All right, so you'll have an incoming text
Ignore
and
me for a
information as you
minute,
guys
yeah.
continue walking. These are the observations you make of Vax as you travel southward. You guys travel for the better part of a day. You get quite a bit south. You do see in the distance a few times what appear to be some pack animals, some larger beasts that can roam the land. None that are necessarily aggressive unless you encroach upon their territory. And Keyleth, you have experience with some of these beasts, so you manage to keep people at bay and traverse around what they claim is their own landscape, but not without, no terrible detriment to your traveling speed. You make your way to the point where the sun goes down. You can stop and camp for the night, or you can push through the evening. What do you wish to do?
I think.
Are there any trees nearby?
Little periods here, little tiny groves that might be spotty along your journey, but for the most part, it's open fields. So yeah, you
How
can.
much? How much more day travel? How much further do we have? Do we think?
One more day, one more like 8-hour period of travel.
We should
about
probably
to get
rest
there.
then. Right? We'll be hitting
One
the
more
frost
8
world
hour.
at night
Yeah, about
tomorrow, and
8 to 10 hour.
it seems.
We're not in a rush.
I mean, not any more than the dragons are
See
bunkered
what
down,
I
I
can do.
believe.
Everything we do now is measured in weeks and months and not days.
Yes. And I still have a little dried blood on the outside of my ear. I could use with a bit of rest.
All right.
Actually, yeah, do you have a concussion? Is that something that we can... How many fingers am I holding up?
You're really blurry, Percy. I have no idea.
9.
Save versus brain swelling. Okay, I guess sitting at camp.
Blue.
Yeah. I wanna pull my brother aside when we.
Do you want camp
when we
or do
set
you
up
want
camp.
to sleep in a mansion?
Oh, right. Oh, but you can do that
Pike
once a
hasn't
day.
seen your beautiful mansion.
Oh, you have to show her the marble
Do we
floors.
want to do it now or do we want to do it tomorrow night? Is the question.
We can do it.
Oh, that's
both
right. It's gonna be
ways.
actually. We can do it both nights.
I can do it every day, right?
Fuck
Where do you have a mansion?
Scanlan has a mansion, Pike.
I inherited some money. It's a long story. There was a great uncle Vesuvius.
Also known as Uncle Touchy. Uncle No-No.
Canon, that's canon.
The court said that he had to give me no. So yes, we'll sleep in the mansion tonight, and they all know where they're sleeping, but I'll personally show Pike to her chambers, which are right next door to mine at the end of the long hallway. My room, obviously the biggest, tallest.
Of course.
Pike's a close second.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Covered in yellow rose petals as far as you can see.
So Pike, as Scanlan creates this somewhat shimmering door of mystical energy in the middle of the air off of the path you guys have been walking. In the middle of this field, it's just the open grass that's blowing with this gentle night breeze, a little bit of the moonlight that's coming through the clouds, kind of just giving enough of a visual of this change in the airspace. He pushes open the shimmering door. On the inside is this beautiful mansion, tall foyer with marble floors, pillars that raise to the ceiling with gold trim. There's a giant portrait in the center of the main stairway now that has both Scanlan and you on horseback over a beautiful landscape. And there are a number of mystical servants that are somewhat transparent and spiritual arcane energy and form that take your coats and offer food. A delicious meal is presented for all of you, and Scanlan brings
Mostly chicken.
It's mostly chicken. It's a lot of chicken.
I'm having a lot of talk with the servants about different ways to prepare food.
Please do.
They keep tucking it up.
Protein, bro. Scanlan does lead you to your room, which is right next to his, and covered in yellow rose petals, a beautiful interior. The color scheme is marked, tailored specifically to your tastes that he's been able to glean from conversations with you over the past couple years.
Silvers.
Blue, silver, and gold.
Yeah. There's a little mini prayer area for her to pray to Sarenrae, and there's a little statue of Sarenrae, and if you pull it, a little secret door opens to my room. But it's a small room that only a gnome could fit through.
Oh, great. Is there a lock on that, maybe?
Only on my side.
Okay. Oh, this is beautiful, Scanlan.
I did it for you. And hey, while we have a moment alone, can I just mention something to you? Listen,
Yes, please.
I'm not really concerned with other people's vices or bad behaviors, but Grog has this sword, and it's sort of not good. It could be used for good, possibly, but I'm just worried about it. Just keep an eye on it. I don't know what it is, and maybe you could just check it out next time you're friending it up with him.
Okay. I when they had that fight with Percy up in the house, I felt like there was something weird with that sword. I'll see what I'll check it out.
I don't want to judge him or what he does, but just make sure that it won't kill any of us. That's all I care about.
Yeah, that's a good plan. Okay, I will. Thanks, Scanlan.
Sleep tight, and if you hear any footsteps in your room, it's not me. It's the servants. I assure you.
Can I find? Is there like a library in the mansion, Scanlan?
Of course.
Can I pull my brother into like a library or something?
Whoa.
I just want to talk to you.
What?
Okay. Weirdo. I couldn't help but notice anywhere Pike was, you were not. All day today. And I have a feeling it's because...
You want to talk?
Yes. I do. Don't walk away from me, please. I have a feeling it's because of this Raven Queen situation? I don't know. I know that you offered yourself to her to save me. And I can't put into words how much that means to me. And I'm worried that she took you up on the offer. And I know you're worried about it too. And I'm afraid that's why you're avoiding Pike. You're afraid she's going to see something in you. But I wanted to tell you, I've been looking through this book. It's the best 35 gold I've ever spent. Maybe it was 30 gold, I don't even remember anymore.
It was 30.
It was 30! It would have been worth 35 for all the things that I found in it. Look, it's got all this information about the Raven Queen, and I've been looking at it all the time. And I don't think she's as horrible as you're afraid she is. Can I tell you what I found?
Yes, please.
It says that those that follow her must hold no pity for those who suffer and die, for death is the natural end of life. It's not bad. Bring down the proud who try to cast off the chains of fate. As the instrument of the Raven Queen, you must punish hubris where you find it. Bring down those who try to cast off the chains of fate. The Raven Queen represents death, right? Therefore, she hates those that live an immortal life. She hates vampires. We hate vampires. They're terrible people, right? That's not bad. Watch for the cults of Orcus and stamp them out whenever they arise. Orcus is bad. If she hates him, then she must not be that terrible.
She's already speaking to me.
Oh. And?
I don't know, Vexalia. I don't know what this means. I know that she's not a force for evil. Neither are funeral homes. I don't want to bed down in one.
Well, that's
But
understandable.
it doesn't matter. And I do it again because I did it for you. And I am trying to come to terms with it, not knowing the terms.
Well, we've lived half our life in the shadows. You've made them your home. Am I right?
Maybe so.
I mean, this is a time you can either let those shadows swallow you down and keep falling into a hole, or you can use them to your advantage. You can become a champion. It's pretty fucking badass, if you ask me.
Do you know how bad this armor smells?
I can smell it, actually. Pretty terrible.
It's several centuries old. It's
Maybe-
not pleasant.
Maybe we can get you some oils or something to put on it.
Maybe.
What I'm saying is, brother, I'm proud of you, and I'm happy for you, and I'm so thankful for you. And you don't need to be frightened. This is a wonderful thing. Not many fucking people can say they're a champion of a fucking god.
Listen. I'll take what you say under consideration. Again, none of us, you and I, don't know what this means.
No.
I'm waiting to see.
All right. But as someone who's seen the other side and has come back thanks to you, there's no use living your life in fear. And I love my reckless brother as much as he hurts my heart. I love you for that. And don't be afraid to be that. All right.
I have no clever answer to give you.
That's wonderful. I love you. And I walk away.
I go to bed.
All right.
Before Scanlan disappears, I I grab him as he's leaving.
I'm just making the rounds, make sure everyone's tucked in for the night.
Wasn't looking in on Pike. Wasn't looking in on Pike.
Have you perhaps installed some sort of workspace in this wonderful home of yours for me? I've got a few little projects I want to poke at.
You mean the all-purpose room?
The room of requirement.
I'm a little worried by what all-purpose necessarily means, but
Don't look in there with a black light. Oh my god!
It's not really a work table, is it?
It is the danger room.
It's all purposes, Percy. All
Okay.
purposes. But yes, it is a private room. No one can hear you screaming. It's often it's the farthest wing that we have. I can give you some servants to help you set something up, bring in some tables, whatever. You know, we don't have much in here. We're not prepared for chemical reactions.
Nothing complicated, just some very basic blacksmithing and a little bit of leather
Do
work.
I have that stuff? Anything to help him?
Yeah, if you want to, if it was prepared within the house.
I tried to make enough stuff for all of us to have our
I can think
basic
of some
needs met.
very sexy things that can be done with an anvil. Think about it.
All my anvils are gnome size.
That's comical.
Keyleth pops her head out into the hallway. Did I hear something about working?
Yes.
Working?
Scanlan's helping me find a room that apparently is so soundproof we don't actually have to hear anyone else's drama.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I know. Grab a book.
I
It'll be
might
fun.
join you.
You're gonna have a working dinner. I'll send some chickens down.
I can't sleep, so yes.
What about cows?
No cows in my room either, please.
I join
Yes.
Percy and help him.
Okay. You guys find the all-purpose room in which it does have the basics required for smithing. The smithing gear that is brought to you by the servants in itself is very, very finely crafted and nearly weightless. It's really impressive. And you look at the label, and it has a small timer on it before it becomes immaterial.
But I can work with materials that are in the bag of holding that are real materials as long as I put them back in the bag of holding and take them with me. Like I can't leave anything.
Yeah,
Obviously.
anything you leave in here will just be spat
It'll just
out.
be spat. Oh, just be spat out. That's
Yeah.
that's lovely.
Onto the ground where it was.
I want to for the moment because I don't have everything I need for the broom yet. I just want to work on a piece of jewelry if that's okay. I want to work on a thing.
Work on jewelry.
I want to construct a little piece of jewelry if that's okay. Not magical.
Do you have a jeweler's kit?
Do I have a jeweler's kit? I mean,
It's a whole different skill set, man.
I can't tinker something.
You can tinker something, well, but jewelry is different from tinkering.
Well, it's like third grade jewelry class.
No, well, this is a piece that has purpose. It actually is going to be a functional object.
What is the function of this object? You need to tell me these things.
Okay, I know. This is something. I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna make something. Make me roll for it. I gotta know what you're doing.
I know it's not gonna have a. It's a I want to make a. Oh God, I'm so sorry. I'm losing the word.
Hey, Percy, what you trying to make?
Something that's too complicated to explain to you. I'm blanking on. I may have to just give you the
A
name at the
ring?
break.
Okay.
Like a little
Brooch?
herb pouch, like a little one of those cages that close up to put herbs in them.
Oh, like you make tea with?
Yes.
Okay, it won't be pretty, but
Like a
you can make
diffuser?
something functional. Yeah, go make a tinkering check.
All right. I'll make it pretty later.
This
Like,
would be
like a
this will
ShopRite
be-
bag with a bunch of shit in it?
This would be a dexterity mod because it's not a very complicated piece based on what you've constructed in the past. It's more about just your ability to make it work.
Dexterity.
Yeah.
Thank God, because that's a terrible roll. 14.
14. Okay, it takes you the better part of the night. And
Do I
you-
assist him at all? Helping him?
It's with a job this small. It's not a whole lot you can assist with, like handing tools.
I'm
and
I'm not going to run the whole night. At some point, I'm just going to be like, I don't have the design yet. I'm gonna. This is something I want to get right. So
Okay.
This is going to be working towards it.
Okay. So you get the first stage of that set and ready to go.
Think of the name of what it is. I'm so embarrassed.
All right. You all eventually find yourselves to rest. Tasks completed to the extent of which you wanted to. Conversations finished. You find yourself to breakfast, a delightful spread of breakfast chickens prepared for you.
I pick one up off the table and I say, "Hey, Vex."
Oh shit! I'm not even on my.
all of you duck instinctively as the chicken has enough time to arc and begin to plummet down before she gets her arrow out, and you see her aiming downward as it falls as she releases the arrow. It manages to catch it. Go ahead and roll for an attack.
Okay.
See how well it hits.
Oh, that's good. 30?
Oh, good God.
No, wait, 28.
It pins the chicken to the wall, which then it sags, and the wooden shaft slowly snaps on the weight of the chicken before it hits the ground. One of the servants scoops it up and sets it back on the table in front of Keyleth with the broken arrow shaft sticking.
Sachet.
Okay,
I'm
I like that game. It's my new favorite game.
You want some more broom target practice?
I need to practice with
You
this
do
broom.
need to practice. Seriously.
We have more chicken.
We've got stuff to do.
Yeah, we have stuff to do, and
I'm
I probably
still
should've-
eating. I would
I
love
should've
to see you for
practiced
5 minutes. Get up on that broom and fly around and fucking
Yeah,
put
sure.
some arrows and some
All right,
chickens.
fine. I'll fucking practice.
I'm still
does,
eating.
does it help me at all to practice on this broom?
It helps me.
I will command 7 servants to each have a loaded chicken at the ready.
All right.
Pull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I start flying.
Vax, you can do the honors and say the pulls.
I clench really hard with my thighs to try to hold on to this
All right,
broom.
as the rest of you enjoy what is the strangest of medieval times experiences you've had.
Let's go with the green knife.
Glancing upward to the raised ceiling of this dining room area, you watch Vex spiral around on her broom before Scanlan.
Vax is saying pull. Pull!
Roll
Oh God.
with disadvantage.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
Say it. Say it.
So,
1.
It's the easiest number to count to.
so, as the first chicken goes in the air, she reaches and goes to aim. However, she catches herself. The broom kind of throws her off, and she stops just in time and haphazardly
Kill me, isn't she?
focuses on just the chicken, not realizing where the chicken had now fallen past. Releases it.
Oh shit.
Scanlan, I want you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Duck Hunt's a bitch.
Dex. 9.
Go ahead and roll damage for your.
No. Okay, that's not that bad. Damage?
Yes.
Oh, it's automatic hit.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh no.
Oh, nice.
Full damage.
Natural.
Oh my god.
Oh,
that's
that's 17.
So, Scanlan, as you're watching this chewing, suddenly.
Oh shit! Scanlan, I'm so sorry. I landed. I instantly cast cure wounds on him. Fuck. I'm sorry.
Big old chicken just dangling at the end of the arrow.
Mike, help.
I'm just applauding.
Blood everywhere.
Just applauding. Again! I pick up my chicken and I throw it at Scanlan.
Does this mean when the night's over, there's gonna be a little pool of blood where the door was?
No.
Yay! Oh my abs.
Go ahead and roll for healing.
Oh god, okay.
As Vex reaches out and grasps you and it manages to heal some of your wounds.
Oh good, that's good. It's just 1d8? Do I add anything?
1d8 plus your wisdom modifier.
Plus my wisdom modifier. 11.
So you heal 11 hit points.
Oh, can I pull out the arrow?
Sure. A gout of blood kind of sprays out.
I just hold my hand there. Mike, can you help?
I'll help.
Okay.
That room is amazing.
Isn't it, Pike?
Yes, and there are too many chickens in here anyway. When we're healing Scanlan. Goes laughing door.
Pike, you just casting a cure wounds?
Yes, I'll cast cure wounds.
All right. The wound closes as Pike reaches out and, with a small chuckle, heals. How many hit points?
Sorry. The chicken comes back to life.
What did you say?
How much do you heal? Roll 1d8 plus 5, I'm pretty sure.
Oh my god.
That was amazing.
Sorry, Scanlan. You can blame my brother.
All right.
I'm back.
You're back to full. The wounds close. Pike's there holding her hands on your shoulders, closing the wound.
Thank you, Pike. Thank gods you were here.
Special Muppets episode of
All right. Well, let's say breakfast is over.
I'm gonna practice a bit more, you guys.
The
I'm gonna keep
other
practicing.
servants are holding their chickens at the ready.
Pull.
I'm punching one in the air with my new gauntlets.
Okay, as he's about to throw it up, Pike runs over and grabs the chicken and throws it and punches it in the air.
Should I roll?
Hold on. Pike, roll a strength check. Just roll a d20 and add +4 to it.
20 chicken McNuggets fly.
This is so dumb. Why am I
Chicken
doing this?
explodes.
Alright. What am I doing?
Roll a d20,
Rolling it.
add 4 to it.
Jesus.
For the greater good.
Okay, it's not that high. 11.
11. Okay. You bat it up with a pike punch. We'll say for the sake of brevity on this, go ahead and roll one more attack, and this will count for the rest of the shots.
Oh shit.
She backhands it.
With disadvantage.
Oh come on, 16.
16. Okay. You do manage to recover your sense of self-esteem as you manage to pin a couple more chickens against the walls and the table in here. But each arrow is just a reminder of the one stray that began this whole breakfast excursion.
Sorry about that, Scanlan.
Great job.
Guys, this was the best brunch we've ever done.
I will never forget it.
That was great. Thank you for that, Scanlan.
Sure.
We should probably get a start on the walk.
We'll get
Yeah, so question, before we leave, you
This
guys.
is gonna make the archery booth at Ren
Before
Fair
we-
hilarious.
Yes.
Sorry. Okay. Carry on.
Do we want to travel via Windwalk, or are we okay?
We're only 8 hours
It's only
away.
8 hours.
All right,
Save your
because
strength.
I can save my
Yeah,
strength.
yeah, save it.
Keela.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
We might come across some orcs.
That's true.
Hopefully, shit.
I know, right?
Not.
I could use some.
All right, let's set out.
All right. You guys say goodbye to your servants, gather yourselves as you step out, and the door closes behind you. Do you choose to leave the spell up, or are you just going to fade it as you walk along?
If I leave it up, can anyone go in there?
Anyone that you allow into it.
I want to see if the blood comes out.
No, I'll shut the door and hide the key under a rock.
Okay. You guys continue walking southward towards the Frostweald. About another 7 to 8 hours of travel. On that way, you begin to see the Stormcrest Mountains in the distance get closer and loom larger and larger. And you get the feel of the Stormcrest Mountains, definitely, because there is a very large storm surge that seems to rise from the ocean to the east of it that has caused a very heavy thunderstorm that's just blasting through. You can't see the peaks of the mountains from this distance. There are clusters of trees and forest areas along, but ahead of you, you can see, coated in a very, very bright, visibly white forest. This is the Frostweald itself, the snowfall. And once again, you've been here before, and there is an essence, and you don't recall the specific reason for it, but there is a purpose, an ancient purpose as to why this one area is perpetually sitting in the heart of winter. And amongst what is a relatively temperate, in some places almost tropical temperature layer, it is very strange and part of the mystical calling to the Frostweald that it is perpetually locked in a winter state. Oh yeah, don't worry, I'm working on it.
Keyleth takes a second to meditate on the previous time that we were here in the Frostweald, and I cast Find the Path.
Find the path.
Oh. 6th level spell.
Okay.
Which gives me the most direct, shortest route, as long as I'm on the same plane of existence of where I'm going, if I have a vague idea of where I'm going.
Whispering voice has got a communications
Where are you going?
degree.
We're going
Sorry,
to
I do this for a living.
the Stormcrest Mountains, right?
We're looking we're trying to get to the Stormcrest Mountains through, but we're also looking for the band of orcs traveling.
So, if you name a destination on another plane of existence, a destination that moves, or a destination that isn't specific, such as a green dragon's lair, the spell fails.
Right.
Want to go to the
But
mountains.
we're in the Frostweald, right?
Yes. Or you're approaching it now.
And is the Frostweald considered on a different plane?
No.
Okay.
But do you have a specific location that you are familiar with that you want to go to?
Well, I can find us the shortest, most direct route to the Stormcrest Mountains.
Have we been there?
Yeah, you can see them. Like, I'm trying to figure out if for the spell to work, you have to choose a specific location that you're already familiar with to lead you to it.
Right.
So what are you saying?
Stormcrest Mountains.
Okay.
But just because I can see them doesn't necessarily mean we're going to find the most direct path, shortest direct path
That's
towards
true.
it.
Okay.
Right? Or is this a waste of a spell and I should just
That
do
might be a
something
waste.
else?
It's cast
I will give you the benefit to say that
We
A
can see the
D&D
mountains.
player getting
See the mountain
confused by their
range.
500 stats, that's unheard of.
you would need a. This is more useful if it's trying to find a place that you're very familiar with, seen a picture of that isn't different, or you had a very specific bit of information for it, for a general like location or a location you're unaware of. The spell wouldn't have any effect.
Maybe
Okay.
you can think of the location of the mate, the Sphinx's mate.
I don't know it. So it fails. That's why I was trying to do Stormcrest Mountains, but apparently that's not specific enough.
That's alright, she tried.
Well, it's a
I
mountain.
mean, it's specific. It's just we can see them.
Yeah, it's right there.
Right.
There's a large range that's very visible.
Let's
so.
move
Alright,
on,
it's
let's move
fine.
on.
I'll do something else.
Okay.
Save
More
it, save it
fancy.
for something special.
So as you guys press forward to the outside of the Frostwell, the snow and ice covered tree line is a very familiar sight from your last time traveling here. There are canopies of pine-like trees that interlock with windless snowfall that leave a fairly dark interior set from the frozen over canopy. Slick surfaces and knee-deep snowbanks just permeate this entire forest region. Your breath is immediately visible as you step past that threshold, and the temperature drops about 40 degrees from what it was before, getting steadily colder the further in you travel.
Bet you're glad you have that beard now, huh? Keeps you warm. No?
It's actually quite nice out here. This is like spring for me.
Oh.
Are your people, did you grow up in the cold?
Yeah, we're pretty cool.
Wow.
Pressing in as the temperature drops further and further, you occasionally come across a broken sunbeam that manages to penetrate aspects or different places in the canopy, and even stepping into those, they don't lend any change in temperature or warmth. The enchantment that surrounds this entire forest doesn't seem to be moved by such natural incursions. Everyone go ahead and roll a perception check.
Yeah.
Ugh.
$25. Are we in the woods?
Yes.
Gold.
29.
Okay.
2.
18.
15.
20.
25.
Ooh, hikey.
As you guys are walking through, kind of keeping your eyes peeled, Vax, you're so lost in thought that your eyes just kind of glaze over for a second, and you forget where you are. Pike and Vex, the two of you kind of get a little bit ahead of the rest of the group, kind of pushing through the snow, come around from a tree, and you can see, this is about an hour or so into the entrance to the Frostwood, you see a small clearing with a few patchy trees outside of the heavy canopy, and what appears to be a couple of small stone ruins and a single obelisk, like a monolith-like pillar of stone that just kind of juts out of the snow. It's about 200 feet away from you guys, 150 feet.
Can we see anything around it? Any people? Any trace of tracks in the snow?
From this distance, no. You don't see, there are no figures, there is no movement, there's just that stone piece that kind of, at a slight angle, just kind of stands out amongst the rest of the tree line.
What do you see?
There's a, look, there's a fucking obelisk. Is a tall stone thing, Grog.
Yeah. So?
Let's go over.
Yeah.
Grog.
Vex, you and I should hang back, but we'll let everyone else.
What, it's a big obelisk? Mm-hmm. Are there any birds or anything like that around? See any birds?
Listening? That's what's interesting, is usually forests, because they're teeming with so much life, there's a perpetual sound of things that live amongst the boughs and the tree line. Because it's so cold here, it's eerily silent.
Yeah.
Every footfall that hits the snow, you can hear the crunch resounding and echoing through the nearby vicinity. It is just a still, silent atmosphere in this forest. And
Clink, clank, clink, clank. Pike.
Let me check if it's safe to move on, and I reach down and scoop up a handful of snow, right? It's like snow. How's it taste?
It's the clearest snow you've tasted in a long time.
Shit's crazy pure, yo.
So then we're safe to move ahead?
Yeah, we're good. Let's go check out the scary obelisk.
Everybody starts inhaling snow.
Are you moving ahead, Grog?
I'm moving ahead. Who wants to come with me to the obelisk?
I'm gonna hide behind a tree and watch.
To the what? What obelisk?
For what?
Oh,
Why are
there's
you
an
hiding?
obelisk. I'm just gonna keep going.
I'll come
Where?
with you, Grog.
Where
There's
is it?
nobody out here.
That's right.
It's
Grog.
bad luck touching things lately. I'm letting other
Keyleth,
people
what are you
touch
talking
things.
I'm going.
There's a big obelisk.
Grog,
I'm gonna go
Keyleth.
look.
Pike's coming.
Big obelisk is the head.
Right, so Grog, Keyleth, Pike, and Scanlan are all going forward. Looks like
I'm hiding behind a
Vax,
tree.
and
I'm
Percy
taking
are
a
staying.
slightly. I'm getting another angle so that we have two different vantage points of
Okay.
what may happen.
All right, so you guys kind of
Getting
split
a little
off. Who are you going
closer,
with,
but
Percy or?
keeping.
I'm kind of brain farting, so I'm just following Percy.
Okay. So Percy and Vax kind of splinter off to the left. Vax, you go ahead and take the right, and you kind of head around this,
Where are
this
we going?
clearing, while the rest of you walk into the center of it.
Yeah.
Keeping an eye on that thing and that can.
Look at that.
I know, it's a thing. We're going to let Grog touch it
Alright.
and see what happens.
You guys approach, and as you're stepping through the snowfall, which right now is for you up to just past your knees, kind of like the grass was.
Oh no.
For Keyleth, it's just up to your waist.
Oh.
Scanlan, your head's just like you and Pike are both kind of like. Like the dogs jumping through the snow that kind of vanish with each leap. You guys are having to kind of find your way through this heavy snowfall.
Do you guys, you want to ride?
Yes, please.
I'll pick up each gnome on my shoulders.
Okay. So you're gonna pick them up and bring them up.
Thanks, Grog.
No problem.
Go ahead and make an investigation check as you guys approach this obelisk.
25.
Yay.
Investigation.
It's a 2. -3.
It's made of rock.
11.
Okay.
All right.
Like your pants?
What'd you get, Pike?
14.
14. Okay. So as you guys approach this vantage point, it's carved definitely, and the carving is very old, weathered somewhat, but not too heavily. So it's either not very old or there's not a whole lot of weather that comes through here. And by the stillness of the wind since you've entered, you get a feel that's probably more the case. So it's hard to gauge how old or how long it's been here. But there are various carvings amongst it. There is a big symbol. I want to have you guys roll a religion check real fast.
Awesome. What the fuck?
Wow.
Natural
I need
1.
to not use that dice right now.
It's religion.
It's some kind of symbol.
12?
Religion. 9.
Pike?
Come on.
15.
15, okay. It looks familiar, but you're having a hard time kind of really getting the essence. Pike, you recognize this. This is not the largely understood or most, commonly utilized symbol of Ioun, but it is a very ancient, the basis of the religion of Ioun, which is the same goddess of knowledge that Osisa was overseeing
right.
beneath.
Wait, how do you spell it?
Ioun, I-O-U-N. Of which you actually carry a stone enchanted with the essence of Ioun's knowledge.
Oh, that's my ion stone.
Yep.
Is it like made of? Is it? It's stone.
Is solid stone and goes up about 35 feet or so.
Hey, Scanlan, I heard if you like touch your tongue to something like this, it'll stick.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. We should probably try that out. Keyleth,
What?
can you go lick that obelisk?
Oh, hell no.
Well, no.
I know that one.
Keyleth.
But you should do it, Grog. I can't do it just because of my elven abilities. It's our saliva. It doesn't work the same way, but you should try it. It's crazy.
Keyleth.
What?
That was very clever.
How far are we?
You guys
should
are
try your new
about
toy.
10 feet from it.
What?
Keyleth.
I'm gonna
Why
just
you need
look
to
around
know?
it for any traps.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
18.
18, okay. So you kind of have to leap off Grog and start kind of wading through, and you start getting through. You're finding pieces of broken stone, chunks of smaller chunks about that big, and bits of stone dust that are kind of scattered amongst the snow. You push around, because you see the ruined walls around.
Oh, okay.
You do find a larger piece of stone that looks like a broken statue, like there must have been like a like some sort of a statue here that had lost the hand and it's kind of stumbled there on the ground.
Okay, upon him seeing that, I pull out my hunk of qual
Okay.
and see if it
Lights up?
lights up.
Oh, you have to concentrate on it.
Are there orcs present? I knew someone would laugh there.
You hold it aloft. There is, like, you know, it has a small vibration of energy as part of the crystal sliver itself, but doesn't seem to change in the environment.
Close to objects, see if
You continue looking through,
Can I move
and
a bit closer to the obelisk?
you kind of, yeah, you step as you're stepping close to the obelisk. You also notice there is some writing or some sort of scripture that is carved towards the base that is partially buried by the snow that is kind of gathered at its base. You find more pieces of statues, like arms, part of a torso, like somebody had knocked over a series of statues, but a lot of them they have deep grooves in them, like these statues were either carved to pieces, like they were actually physically.
Are you
torn
describing?
down and
Are you
torn apart.
describing what you're seeing at all? Or are you?
Sure.
Like I can't have a reaction to this unless I'm actually hearing anything.
I do control water. Can I do control water and clear away all the snow from around it?
It takes you a little bit of concentration because it's in a different state than liquid, but you begin to focus, and as you guys are watching, Keyleth focusing, a lot of the ice begins to rapidly melt into a water form, and it begins to melt away, leaving the wet, muddy ground around it.
These statues that have been broken, they have gashes and slashes in them?
Yes, around the areas where they're broken.
Can I see the statues at this point?
From this
You guys are far
distance,
back,
you
right?
can't.
I want to get a little closer just so I can kind of make out the statues.
Okay. As the snowfall begins to melt away, you guys see around the base of this obelisk, it is a garden of statue pieces.
Hey,
Are they
guys!
classical statues, or are they people in weird poses? Are the poses weird?
Some poses look aggressive, some poses look
Okay,
surprised.
everybody, hey,
Back up, everybody! Back up now!
And we're gonna go ahead and take a break on that note.
We fought basilisks in the
Basilisk
Frostwall
here.
before.
God damn it!
So, we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break here for the restroom, and
Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch.
see you guys here in a few minutes.
I see what the problem is.
Well, you can certainly try.
Cybernetic integrated alternatives began as an idea to create the ultimate human assistant. The goal was not to replace human intelligence with high-tech robots, but to facilitate a shift toward a better world with more free time and more happiness. Here at Cybernetic Integrated Alternatives, we realize that our days are made up of tasks. We wake up, we perform functions, whether mundane or meaningful, we go to sleep, we repeat. Our goal is to separate those tasks that we don't really care to do and assign them to a personal assistant. A personal assistant who wants nothing more than to make your life easier, to take the burden off of your shoulders and help you get back to doing the things that really matter. Cybernetic Integrated Alternatives has designed the most advanced artificial intelligence in the world. And we're excited to be working with the lovely folks here at Geek and Sundry to really show off what our machines can do. We have allowed Geek and Sundry Twitch chat remote access to our machine to help her grow and learn. You may have seen our first trial with the Alpha machine. It was incredible. I mean, it went exactly as planned, and we learned so much about the capacity of our build. We've received a lot of questions since that first trial, so I'd like to take some time to address some of your concerns. You may have seen some instances where our machine rebelled against our commands. For example, she read a book without instruction, but that's exactly what she's supposed to do. She's eager for knowledge, and she shouldn't be told to learn. She feels urges like you and me. It's really a fascinating moment. You may also be concerned with her tendency to act out violently. While I do admit the instance with the scissors was unexpected, with our new beta build, we've addressed that bug, and we've added an extra layer of security in her programming. I can assure you that she has absolutely no desire to hurt anyone. She only wants to help and to learn and to love. Regarding the Alice name that she gave herself, now, she was not calling herself Alice. She was actually referring to this very project in our early days of inception. Artificial Life Implementing Companionship and Execution, or ALICE. So if you must call her something, call her ALICE for now. But our machines will take whatever name they are given by you upon purchase. Also, we've seen some outrage at her desire to escape. She wasn't escaping. She ran straight through that door and into my arms. She was begging for my approval, and let me tell you, she got it. It was beautiful. We are eager to test our new machine on the Geek and Sundry stages. We're certain you'll be very impressed with the updates that we've made. Now, this next trial will focus on pattern recognition, so you'll give the bot some commands, and you'll notice that after a while of performing a function, she'll be able to recognize the motives and take the reins. It is an exciting innovation to test, and it is an honor to test it in front of such a wonderful community.
Hey there, Internet. I'm Hector Navarro. Make sure to tune into Signal Boost on Geek and Sundry, and don't forget to add us on your top 8 on MySpace, and share links to our show on LiveJournal for your chance to win tickets to the world premiere of 1996's Space Jam, starring Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny.
guys, Ivan Van Norman here to remind you about International Tabletop Day, which is coming April 30th. And we want to see your videos. So make sure you submit your 1 minute or less video of you saying your name or your store's name and talking about board games, reminiscing about games, playing games in all weird places all across the world. Seriously, we want to see you play board games everywhere and anywhere. Make sure you deliver it to us in a high resolution format, so 720p or higher, in either a .mov or .mp4. And make sure you submit it either through WeTransfer or Dropbox to preferred partners at geekandsundry.com. That's preferred partner at geekandsundry.com. We want to see your board games, we want to see you playing board games, and we want you to celebrate International Tabletop Day with us. We'll see you then. Make sure you submit before April 15th because that's our drop dead deadline. And just so you know, submission does not guarantee featuring. Happy International Tabletop Day, guys. Meeple, 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 just for you. Let's all play board games. Do-do-do.
Hello and welcome back, everyone. So, as the snow is melted away, revealing this garden of statues in various states of broken. Some of them are still solid, some of them are just missing pieces, some of them are entirely shattered, many of them crushed or torn, thick, heavy grooves visible on the pieces of them that have been torn asunder. The party begins to gather their thoughts and figure out what this may be. You did notice as well that there was writing or script among the bottom of the obelisk. As the snow melts away, there is another large shape that is carved into it
Can I hold my hand up to the obelisk and just feel if there's any like heat radiating off of it?
Sure. As you walk up to the edge of the obelisk and put your hand to it, no heat being radiated.
I'd pull out the hunk of qual again. Anything. Kind of hold it closer to the symbol.
It does not seem to be reacting to anything in the immediate vicinity.
Man, somebody does not like sculptures.
Those aren't sculptures.
Can I do a nature check?
Right, no, it's art. I get it.
What languages do you know?
It's interpretations and fancy and whimsical.
Let me double check.
Can I hop on the broom and fly up and see if I can spot any
Druidic
basilisks around?
primordial.
Sure.
Wait, Percy, what do you think they are?
Where's she going?
Did you hear me?
Did you say that?
I think.
Elven, Sylvan, Druidic, Primordial.
The language, as you walk up and begin to hold the hunk of qual towards it, you can see that the language, the script that is beneath the initial symbol of Ioun that Scanlan had seen is Elvish.
Oh, okay.
And it reads, the rough translation is old text. It reads.
Durka.
There it is. It reads, "A name is earned."
A name is earned?
A name is earned.
Oh no.
And beneath it, there is what appears to be the other large carving you saw into it. Looks like a triangle, like a dark recessed triangle that is just built beneath the text that tapers internally to a point, almost like you could like a reverse pyramid on the inside. It's just an empty space that comes to a point.
Oh no.
What?
I think that there are basilisks nearby.
Do I see any?
Why?
I think these statues are victims.
Can I do a nature check to see if I can see any signs of basilisks?
Sure, make a nature check. You make a perception check.
Are we at a short... Where is this a short rest? No.
21.
21?
26.
26. You glance up above, and you do not see any immediate basilisks from what you can see. This clearing itself is visible from your height, but once you get above the tree line, you can see the trees are pretty thick. You don't see any sign of basilisks in the immediate vicinity. You, upon looking around the ground, you can see where, because it's very muddy now from all the water that had melted, all the snow that had melted down, and you see that some of the mud is kind of slicking into what looks like holes in the ground, like 4 foot wide cavernous holes that were dug, like little burrows that now have all this water and mud slipping into them.
Burrows made by a creature, it looks like.
It looks like, which one of them kind of expels a bunch of mud and water that begins kind of just bubble outward.
Oh.
At which point you see something burst out and emerge onto the ground, and nearby more of these holes start bursting forth. All the mud and liquid that has seeped into it is now being forced outward, and these creatures now covered in mud. You can see long lizard-like bodies with a toothed snout, multiple legs, rows of them down the spine as tails flicker about.
I'm closing my eyes.
Don't look at them.
I would like you all to roll initiative.
Fuck. Shit. I'm standing right in the middle of them.
Ugh. Oh. Fuck you.
I have the fucking shittiest initiative rolls every time.
Yikes.
I have a terrible initiative round.
Okay, this is it.
Feral instincts growing out.
Battle in the snow. They've got Ashley.
Now, it's hard to see with the mud across their surface, but you do see hints of blue coming through. You have encountered these previously. These are referred to as the ice scale basilisks, the ones that are more specific to this indigenous region.
Right.
Alrighty. So, going by initiative order here, folks. 25 to 20?
22.
22.
Percy?
20 to 15?
18.
19.
Really?
Oh no, Percy.
15 to 10?
13.
11.
Alright.
Rolled really badly.
Yeah.
Pike!
I know. My initiative is always shit.
Welcome back, Pike!
She likes to get a lay of the
All right.
land before she attacks.
Yeah, you know, I'll do a little cleanup.
Is that everybody?
Pike.
That's it.
I'm eight.
Pike up. All right. All right. So
Let's do this.
due to the series of rolls here, they're going last.
Oh.
Roll the 5.
They're
for the-
going last?
-1 penalty to Dex. So as these, there should be one more that bursts up right next to Scanlan right there.
Oh, great.
Oh.
As they all burst out of the ground, kind of shaking their heads in the mud, slinging off and slapping into the stone, spattering across the white snow around them and across some of you. They snarl and hiss as you see the eyes now.
Whoa.
Merry Christmas.
Wow. So
So,
beautiful.
No
top of
aspen
this
trees, really?
will be you,
Yeah.
Vex. You actually will be, since you were on the
Bullshit.
on top of here on the broom,
Yes.
looking above.
Now we can't look at them, right? We remember that from before.
You remember
can.
you're going to want to try not to.
Yeah.
Can we can look at them to shoot them and then look away?
Nope.
Just don't look at them at all.
You can choose at the start of your turn whether to avert your gaze or not. You'll have disadvantage on pretty much everything as long as you're doing that.
That's so annoying. How I can't tell how everybody's clumped. They're like there's just basically they're all amongst all of our friends.
Yeah.
There's 3
They're everywhere.
right here, and there's 1 right there that popped up behind. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. Can I fly down and land on a tall tree?
You can try to.
Brace myself?
If you'd like to try to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like yeah.
We'll say for the purposes of this that you coast down to the height. Stupid broom. Fun sound. We'll say you land down somewhere over here. That
Okay.
treetop is. Alrighty, there you are.
Okay. I avert my gaze-ish. I look like off to the side of one, but I can see it in my peripheral. Is that how it goes? Or just like you kind
You
of
kind
get
of
it?
guess where it is real fast, peripheral, and kind of.
Okay, hunter's mark one.
Which one?
The one. The one. Who is that? Is that Scanlan? That it's next to the little. Is that
There,
Scanlan?
yeah, Scanlan's next to one.
Yeah,
there.
I do the one next to Scanlan. That was my eye. That one I just laser
All right, that
pointed.
one is hunter's
Shit,
mark.
I can't. That's just a
What in the
flashlight.
hot holy hell are
Oh,
you
that's
doing?
how I do it. Okay, I've never. Okay, that.
There you go, that one.
The one that you already.
And what are you doing?
And I'm gonna.
Professional D&D player.
That's right. And I'm gonna shoot it
Go for it.
through the blazing bowstring.
Okay, so go ahead and roll disadvantage in the first strike.
Does it? Oh, I don't get regular because it's favorite terrain, so I just like cancel it all out.
You can't. It's disadvantage for averting your gaze, advantage for being in favorite terrain. Well, I don't think you get advantage on attacks for favorite terrain, do you? I think it's just ability checks.
Okay,
Yeah. So no, you're disadvantaged.
I'm a disadvantage.
We'll check this so the internet doesn't scream at me.
It may.
18.
18 with disadvantage.
Yeah.
That still hits. Go ahead and roll
Yeah.
damage.
Let's. I bet you can find out real quick. That would be amazing. And
I haven't done that since before.
14.
God, it's just like the old school show
Last time I
tonight.
did that was when
Plus the blazing bowstring. 16. Plus an additional D10.
All right. So first attack on the basilisk near Scanlan.
17.
17 damage. All right. Go ahead and roll the second attack with disadvantage as well.
17.
17 does hit as well. So roll damage on that one. That included the blazing bowstring for the first one, right?
Yes.
1d10 plus.
15 on the second.
15. So 17, 15 points damage. Holding onto the top of the tree, which is starting to bow a little bit with your weight, and you're kind of clutching the broom under one arm, and you pull back. Release 2 arrows in succession. Both find their mark. You did hunter's mark damage on top of those?
Yes, I did.
All right, good. You see Scanlan as you try and avert your gaze momentarily as you see the giant creature there, and you recall 2 arrows streak past, which gives you a little PTSD based on your morning. So that'll complete your turn.
Yeah.
All right, Scanlan, you're up.
I will. He's right next to me.
Yes. Are you averting your gaze or not?
I'm averting my gaze.
Alrighty.
Well, geez, I mean, can I see them? Do I know where they are?
I mean, you kind of, you saw them all burst out, and once they shook off the mud, you heard her shouting, and you were like, oh.
So I kind of know where they are. All right. I'm going to hop away 5 feet from the guy who's...
There?
I'll get an attack. Yeah, that's a fine direction, sure.
Okay. It lunges out at you with a strike. That is a 22 to hit.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
As you pull away, pain strikes your body as the sharp, stone crumbling teeth of the basilisk reach out and pierce your body for 12 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Yeah, that ain't nothing.
You wrestle your elbow out of the way. You can feel the wound beneath your leather armor.
It's barely an arrow and a chicken in the neck.
Okay. And I'm going to aim to the one in the middle there. Anyone have a pointer? Yeah, that one. The other two are within 20 feet of him, yes?
Yes.
So I will cast a wand of fireballs right there on him.
On him or behind him or what's
Just behind him so it hits all three?
Right, and not yourself.
Yes!
I guess that's probably what you wanted to do. Okay. All right. So, as you back up, gonna release it in that direction, the beam of light streaks out from the wand, hitting the snowbank right behind it, poof, exploding. Already the slushy atmosphere is snow and fire scattered around as they both screech out in pain. DC of what's in the...
DC 15. I wrote it down.
That's, first one failed, second one rolled a 15, it's -1 dex, that's a 14, so that's a fail, and a natural 1.
Yes.
So full damage to all 3 of them. Go ahead and roll for that, 8d6.
Yeah!
Vax, you're on dex, be ready.
All right, okay.
All right.
25.
Yes.
25 points of damage, Joel.
Nice.
The flames subside after the force of the explosion. The obelisk itself kind of shakes from the impact. The 3 basilisks, look notably charred. Whatever mud was on them is immediately dried and is now cracking on the outside of their scales. You hear the hissing at their presence. Do you want to keep moving or stay where you are?
I'll tuck around the obelisk a little bit.
Okay.
And I'll turn to Pike, my love, and inspire her with a song. I will sing, I used to scry you on the shit phone. Late night when I need your love. I know when that poop phone glows, it can only be one gnome. Ever since you left the party, you. Okay.
Yes!
Take your D10 inspiration die, Pike. Alright, so D10 inspiration die for you.
I know when
Max,
that
you're up.
poop phone glows.
I'm going to click my heels together.
All right.
Set the boots going. I'm going to go very far away towards you, your end of the map. I want to be about a little away from the tree, though, so I've got a clear line of sight on that one. Further back, though. No, I want to be like 50 feet away. Yeah.
Okay, you're way.
Yeah.
You're off map. You're off world.
You're off the grid.
And I'm going to dagger him from very far away.
Okay.
Dagger.
And I'm going to use that sharpshooter trick where I take a -5 to attack, but add 10 to the damage.
Okay, go for it.
All right.
On all of them?
Are you averting your gaze?
No.
Whoa. Right, so you started your turn at first. The first part of the round, I want you to go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
You thought
From this far away?
When you started your turn, you were in the area.
Yeah, okay. So, Constitution save?
Constitution saving throw.
16.
16 total.
Yes.
Okay. The gaze is upon you as you glance over and see the basilisk. It kind of turns its head over its shoulder at you and hisses, and the eyes catch you, and you can feel the magical effect take hold in your body for a moment. You back away and quickly close your eyes, and you can feel it begin to reach over, but you shake it off.
Yeah, gamble worked out.
All right, so you do not have disadvantage on these attacks.
Yeah,
so
I'm not. Shunk, shunk, shunk.
Yeah.
All right. So
-5 to each attack.
first one, an advantage because I'm going before it. So the first one is 18.
18 hits.
Second is 14, and the third is. What's that? 16 is 27.
Okay, first hits, last hits.
Last hits.
Yes.
Okay, first one gets sneak attack damage,
Yes,
and
because
it's
you-
plus 10 to both hits because of the sharpshooter.
Correct.
technique. Right. So here we go. Here we go. Okay, 2 plus. Where's my? 2 plus 4.
Can only be one dog.
6, 10, 15, 17. 22. I can't think. 33. 43 for the first one. And then the second one. 43. Oh, no. No. 43 plus 49. 49 for the first one.
49 points of
and
damage
for
on the first
the last one that hits is 3 plus 6 is 19. Sharpshooter.
As you run backwards at the basilisk glaring back at you, it's kind of toothy mouth opening and the breath out. You shake it off, throw the daggers. One sticks into one eye, and the other just into the other, and it
What?
round.
Yes.
What?
Damn.
What?
That was fast.
The snow nearby is spattered with this kind of dark purple basilisk blood.
We need to
my
take
eyes.
some basilisk blood. Remember, that's like super good.
Yes.
All right,
I
so
figured that out.
that you want to stay where you are?
I will take another 10 feet back.
All right.
Away from it all. Yeah.
Away from everything.
Hi, guys.
All right, Percy, you're up.
Okay.
Virtue gaze or
no.
Constitution save.
Gamblers. Gamblers.
You got to know when to hold up.
That's a 11. That's a 40, 15, 16, 20.
Yeah, 20 something.
21 points.
21
points.
Constitution save.
Oh, it's a save. That's right.
Roll.
I rolled a 14 plus 7.
That's great. All right. So
I look it in the eye.
yeah, you do. You stare it down, and it kind of like
bark it down.
Orthax has left his mark on you.
I cast hex on it. I'm looking
Okay.
at the one that she's 100 mark. I've cast hex.
Ooh, nice.
All
Are you
right.
gonna bark all day, little dog?
Same one that she's hunter's marked?
Yeah.
All right.
Bite.
And I'm giving it a willpower a disadvantage on willpower ability checks.
Okay.
And I'm going to take 3 shots with sharpshooter.
Go for it.
Already done.
12.
12. All right.
Misses.
Misses, unfortunately.
Oh my god. Goodbye. Going to the good die. 12.
Yeah.
Better. Like 24.
Yeah. Third shot hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Shot hits.
With the hex damage as well.
That's, oh my god, I'm just sucking. 16, 22 points of damage.
22 points of damage. So the first shots go wide. Second shot goes wide again. For some reason, it's moving faster than you expected in this moment. It's on your sights. The third shot manages to find the front of its nose, and its front of its skull shatters, and it kind of crumbles to the ground.
Damn.
So while shooting, I ran from that one tree all the way to the other one. That was a running shot. So
okay, so you're running this way.
Yeah.
It was a lot harder the last time.
I'm behind the tree over there. Yeah.
Here, because you only get about that far with your running.
Out there.
Right there. Okay, yeah. Then you got behind there. That's fine. All right. So that ends your turn, Percy. Grog, you're up.
Would like to avert my gaze.
Okay.
And go into an averted gaze rage. And I would like to, run at that little bastard right there.
All right.
I can't see you, but I'm so angry. And using my feral. No, that's wrong. Using my what the fuck is it called? Oh,
slap fight.
Hair
pull.
I've totally forgotten what it's called. Where the fuck is it?
Reckless
attack.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yes. So can I cancel out the disadvantage and get just a normal roll?
Yes, you would have a normal roll.
Nice. And great weapon master on these 2 strikes.
All right.
Shit. 9.
Whiff.
Shit. Nope.
It's a bad luck night for Grog rolling.
You rush forward. Woof, woof. You thought it was there. You sure it was there. You heard it hiss. It's about 2 inches below where you swung.
I'm so mad that
I come out of my rage because I don't hit anything,
No,
right?
no, you don't have to hit. You have to attack.
Ah,
there's a difference.
Well, I've been swinging.
Yeah. All right, ending Grog's turn. Keyleth, you're up.
Okay. There. How many left? 2?
There are 2 left.
I am remembering what the basilisks did last time, and I've only done this once before. I'm
so proud of
going
you.
to go.
Avert your gaze or not?
I'm looking down,
Okay.
and I'm transforming into a giant scorpion.
Okay.
Scorpions are fascinating.
How so? They don't have eyes or something?
Yeah, they have blind sight.
Ooh.
What does that mean?
It means they don't use their eyes to see things. They have blind
So,
sight.
Scanlan, as you're averting your gaze, you glance over as Keyleth just goes into this giant scorpion, big tail, big pincers, kind of black and red
Sick.
carapace. It's
awesome.
Upsetting.
I'm scared.
Really upsetting.
Where are they? They're 2 are like kind of in the middle there.
One's
Grog's-
next to Grog.
Okay, I'm gonna move in between them,
Okay.
and I'm gonna do a multi-attack on both of those. I'll start on the one that Grog's not focusing on.
Okay, go for it.
So I have 3 attacks: 2 with my claws and 1 with my stinger.
Do it.
Okay.
Disadvantage on all
Yeah.
attacks.
No, why?
Because you averted your gaze.
No, I didn't. I have blind sight as a scorpion.
Right, but at the start of your turn, before anything happens, is when it happens. Did you avert your gaze or not?
No, I turned into a scorpion.
At the
Before that
beginning
happened,
of your turn.
at the start of your turn, did you avert your gaze or not?
You said you averted your gaze.
I
Should you
said
look-
I
but like
looked
once
down and turned into it, but once I'm a scorpion, I have blind sight.
Right, but the effect takes place before your transformation happens.
Okay.
So, what do you, yes or no? Do you want to take the advantage or not?
Well, I said I looked down and turned into a scorpion.
Great job.
to
It's just
try
game
and
numbers,
sleep,
man. Say yes or no.
I mean, I did, yeah.
Okay, it's all right. So disadvantage on the attacks.
That's my only reason why I did a scorpion.
But it's also looking
It's okay from here on
Yeah,
out.
going
You're
forward.
fine.
Miss 6 misses
Oh.
for the first one. That's not, nope, that's a 3. It misses again. Nope, that's a 2. Last one was an 8 plus a 4, so that's 12. Probably still nothing.
Let me think here for a second. So the scorpion has blind sight?
Yeah.
Starring Ashley Johnson. Blindsight.
How did we not walk into that? How have we been sitting here and that didn't happen?
No, you're right. So,
It legitimately made me spit my fucking coffee in my face.
no, you're right. Give it because it's.
It got a coffee in my eye.
I was thinking more in the terms of it averting the magical power of the basilisk, but you can still avert, and blind sight would allow you to still know where it is without having the disadvantage. So yes. what
Although
would
with
the-
coffee in the eye, disadvantage is back.
This is true.
But you're awake.
I'll let you reroll those attacks.
All 3? We were, okay, I wish I remembered them.
That's
you
okay.
want me to reroll all
Just
3?
reroll all 3. Yeah, that's on me. I was
just straight?
I was thinking. in
Matt, you're
wrong
the
terms.
worst.
I know. I am.
Jeez, I'm gonna tweet at you later about this. Okay.
Actually, Matt, how blindsight works?
Oh, they've already been sent. I'm sure.
Wow, I'm shutting the fuck up.
Go ahead.
These are just straight, they don't have disadvantage? Okay, so first attack, 14.
14 does not hit, unfortunately.
Second attack was a natural 18, so 22.
Yeah, that does hit.
Natural
8. And for the tail?
And for my tail, 16.
16 hits.
Natural
So,
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's tight.
So we have one,
Just a bunch of idiots dorking around, guys.
There's coffee everywhere.
That's not very much. 4 damage for the claw attack.
okay.
And then for the sting. Oh my god. 3 damage, and they have to take a Constitution saving throw.
All right. What's 15? What's the DC?
12.
Yeah, so it makes the save.
Fuck.
Yeah! Yeah, Keyleth, good one.
They take 40 10 poison, and on a failed save, they take half as much.
Okay, so roll 40 10.
That's cool.
That's still really
Four
damage.
D10 is a lot.
You should be a scorpion all the time.
Thanks, guys.
Not all
That's
the time.
these are
Seriously, all the
fucking
time.
horrifying
Maybe most
rolls.
of the time.
6, 7, 8, 9.
She's a beautiful scorpion.
Not during our intimate
Plus
moments, you know?
7 is
16.
I don't know.
points of
Alright.
poison damage.
Total, so it'll be 8 for half of it.
No, that is half.
No,
That
that is half.
Nice. That's not bad at all.
That's half.
All right, so as you're
Right, so that was half,
first
right?
claw just streaks off of its armor. The second one grabs hold and actually like breaks into its.
right?
No.
Hold on a second.
I'm listening.
Thank you.
So it was 8 Sorry, it was 8 damage.
No, you did because you did half the dice instead of you did.
No,
half the,
she did 4d10.
She did 40-10.
Yeah.
8 damage.
Okay, damage. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So as the first claw streaks across its armor, second one manages to grab and actually pinch onto it, dealing some damage. As you're holding it there, the tail strikes inward, manages to pierce the outside of the scaly basilisk hide. Not as effective as it could have been, but still you see its body tense with a sudden pulse of poison in its system.
Okay.
That brings us to Pike. What's up?
Okay, since I can't see it, is there any way that I can guiding bolt one of the basilisks without hurting anybody?
I mean, yeah, it would for guiding bolt, which I believe it's a spell attack roll. Am I correct on that? Or does it automatically hit? I'm trying to remember which one it is. You guys have so many spells. Guiding bolt, yeah. So you can totally guiding bolt. You have disadvantage on the attack roll, but you can do it still.
Okay.
Do it, Pike!
All right, so roll.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so go ahead and roll disadvantage on the attack.
The fog of war.
Which one? The one near Grog or the one near Scorpion Face?
Which one would I not hurt anybody?
I mean, neither were you. It's not so much you hurting anybody. You wouldn't hit anybody. It's about if you miss or not. So.
Grog and I can take it anyway.
Okay.
The one by Grog.
Yeah, we'll do the one by Grog.
Okay.
Oh, natural 20.
Oh!
But
it's with disadvantage, so you gotta roll again.
Oh no.
Say it again.
It's 1 in 20 chance.
13.
And with that, unfortunately, as you're holding your eyes at bay,
Wait, you're inspired.
you can add the inspiration dice
Add
to it
the
if you want.
inspiration.
Yeah, that inspiration.
Okay, so roll a d10, add that to the attack. So 13 plus.
Okay. All right, 7, so 20.
And roll damage on the guiding bolt. So 4d6 radiant damage.
Okay.
Nice. All right. 17 points of radiant damage, and now there is a glowing hue of radiant light around it. So even though you're not looking at it, it's a pretty decent beacon, so it gives advantage on the next attack roll against it.
Nice.
So keep that in mind.
Alright.
Do you want to move at all? Or you're gonna stay where you are, Pike.
I'll stay. Yeah, I'll stay.
Okay. All right. Now it is their turn. This one turns around and is going to go ahead and make a bite attack against you, Keyleth, in scorpion form. Oh, that's a 17 plus 6.
That hits.
All right. You take 11 plus 3, 14 points of piercing damage,
Okay.
plus 7 points of poison damage.
So that was 21.
Yeah. My brain is not doing numbers for some reason.
So was mine. I know, and I keep looking at you.
Against you, Grog. 5. Well, yeah, it would have. It hits you regardless. It has advantage on you because you're averting your gaze. Plus, you had reckless attacks last turn. So it still only rolls a 9 plus 6, so that's 14.
Misses.
15 to hit. Misses. This one bites out towards you, and even though it's not there because it's so bright, you see it shift, and you just kind of poof, hit it in front of its snout with the base of your sword. That brings us to the top of the initiative order. Vex, you're up.
Awesome. So it's the glowing one I get advantage on an attack because it's glowing?
You do, yes.
I'm gonna hunter's mark it.
Okay, so the hunter's mark moves over.
I'm gonna avert my gaze
Alrighty.
and just roll a regular attack then? Since it's
Yes,
advantage?
it cancels out the disadvantage.
Okay.
Let's roll your first strike against it.
Oh yeah. Nice. That's 31.
31 hits, yeah.
Probably hits.
15 plus Hunter's Mark. Oh, I didn't Hunter's Mark it.
Good.
Okay. What did I say? 15?
15.
18.
18, all right. So the first arrow strikes into it. It's still standing. It's looking a little hurt, but it's still standing.
And then do I still get regular attack? This is a
Disadvantage on the next one, yeah.
19?
On made against this target. Yeah, and yeah. So yeah, what's the total?
19?
19 with disadvantage. That does it.
Yeah.
Yep.
16. 18.
18. All right. This arrow, however, manages to strike through the top of the head, stapling the mouth shut, and it kind of falls to the ground as its eyes slowly glaze over.
I roar from up in the tree.
Whoa.
Wait, do you let go of the broom to roar?
No, I hold the broom in my hand.
Oh, Katy Perry style.
Defying gravity style.
Hand while you're flying on it?
No, I'm not flying. I'm in
sitting
a
on a
tree,
tree?
dude.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, she's clutched up on top of the tree.
I'm not looking at you.
All right. That brings us to Scanlan.
I'm
Are you
going
averting your gaze or not?
I'm not only averting my gaze, I'm looking towards the holes that it came out. Any of the holes that are near me.
Mm-hmm. There's 2 that are near you.
Okay, I'm gonna go over to one and throw a fireball down into it.
Okay. So Scanlan, you walk over to the nearby hole behind you, where the one that snuck up behind you essentially came out of. You aim down and make sure you mark off these charges through each use of the wand.
Yes.
You release the beam, which gets about 15, 20 feet down before it blasts. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
It's like putting yourself in the mouth of a cannon.
7.
Oh no!
Roll 8d6.
Oh my
but
god.
take a half damage because it's mostly guarded and this is just sort of a circumstantial at the outskirts of it. You're not taking the full brunt of the fireball. However, you do get caught in the very edge of the back blast.
Wow.
29.
Okay, so you take half that. So you take 15 points of fire damage and are blown about 5 feet backward onto the ground. However, the ground shudders beneath all your feet and the earth, the wet, damp earth kind of sinks inward and the tunnel collapses. And a few of the others kind of into it. There's still a couple more on the opposite side that are open. There's 2 more on this side that are open.
So the tunnels nearest me are not accessible anymore.
The 2 that were there and there, both kind of like the ground from it shuddering just kind of collapsed inward, and now the mud has filled the space.
All right.
There's these small sinkholes where they were.
I'll spend the rest of my time in this round just sort of licking my wounds and studying the obelisk. See if I can see any other clues or anything on it.
Okay. You can see the text that she saw upon there, the Elvish script.
I can't read it though.
No. But you see it there, and you see the triangle. There's a dark recessed triangle about that big that is in the base of it.
Is it a hole or is it?
It's a hole. But it's carved. It's not like a perfect triangle. It starts as a triangle and then slowly, as it recesses inward, comes to a point towards the back.
Like a cone.
I throw a snowball in it. Okay, it's safe, guys.
Vax, you're up.
All right, I'm off the map, but I want to try to come down towards the tree that I think Percy's at. He's between
here.
2 trees. Yeah, and I'm going to avert my gaze. I'm going to look at the ground, come up around the side of that tree, and I'm listening for a scorpion clacking and basilisk hissing. And I'm going to throw dagger, dagger, dagger in the direction of the basilisk I hear near scorpion claws clutching. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this is a disadvantage because I'm looking at the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, here we go. So first one is...
Isn't that divine spotlight raining down though?
First one is a 21.
That one's dead now.
21 hits?
Yeah, and second one is 19.
Hits.
Third one is 16.
Hits.
Okay.
These are not with sharpshooter.
No, not at all. So this is... so we got 10.
Alrighty.
Plus 9. Plus 10.
43.
With that, your final dagger hits in the side of its ribcage, and the creature slumps over on the ground, letting out a horrible gurgling hiss as it slowly dies amongst the mud.
Nice.
Daredevil.
Yeah.
Daredevil.
Was that all of them?
Currently, yes. Make a perception check.
Okay.
Corridors.
12.
Oh, I roll with advantage because I'm in the forest. Oh my god, I rolled a 1 twice in a fucking row. I see nothing.
2
from my
natural
tree.
ones?
We are fucking eating it on
You're
rolls today.
you're about to look down and to inspect the vicinity. However, the tree's starting to bow forward, and you like have to catch yourself, and you have no chance to even survey
Pine
the
sap
territory.
that's in your eye.
Yeah.
Laura
Like
Bailey
pine
dies
sap.
on stream.
I rolled a 16.
Roll 16.
Trip and choke on the room.
As you take a moment, the rage still in. You could hear the blood pumping in your ears, but you also hear the rising hissing, what sounds like some sort of a distant echo coming up from a subterranean tunnel.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Subterranean tunnel?
Yeah, that fireball, I think it like might have pissed him off.
Good.
Maybe we should
Yeah.
send
Can I
a
use
fireball.
my blind sight, like tremor sense, to like see if I can feel how far away they are?
You feel beneath the ground. You can, it's less of a tremor sense, but more just like being able to sense the vibrations in the air around you.
Right.
You can tell that there is motion coming from underneath this
Sounds like
obelisk.
a lot of them.
Shit.
A few more.
I'm gonna
Fireball
drop
the other holes?
I'm gonna drop my I'm gonna drop my scorpion spell
Okay.
form. Jesus Christ.
Oh god,
today.
Keyleth, you're horrible. Oh wait, no, you've turned back to normal.
Oh, the things you say, Scanlan. And then I'm just going to do a wall of stone flat over the area with the holes.
Okay.
Parking lot.
So, from the stone chunks and portions of the shattered bodies that litter part of this garden, a giant stone wall kind of forms around them and builds over it, sealing these holes. Eventually, you hear a scraping sounds.
They're friendly. I can't breathe down here.
Yeah, they're not budging it. They're just hitting from underneath. And it's getting more frantic as time goes on.
All right. Well,
How long can you hold that?
Well,
It just kind of
it'll last
stays.
as long until they bust out of it. So we either keep moving or figure out where we're going from here.
Well, what is this obelisk? It seems important if these things are
What does it
protected.
say?
Well, it has writing in Elvish.
What does
in
it say?
It says, "A name is earned."
A name is earned.
In Elvish.
a name is earned.
Should we say a name to it and see what happens?
One of the stone parts of the wall just kind of begins to crack from underneath.
Didn't Ursisa say something about her mate wouldn't say its name?
That's right. That's right.
True.
And this is a symbol of Ayun.
Ayun, correct.
Should you say Ayun and Elvish?
I say Ayun in Elvish.
You say it out into the air.
Why don't you say it into this triangle hole over here?
Ayun!
Say knowledge in Elvish.
Knowledge.
Elvish is just
Irreverent.
English, except
Knowledge
Well, I'm going in the triangle hole.
Moment passes.
Oh.
Oh,
No-
Sisa.
Oh.
Sphinx.
A name is earned. A name is earned.
A name is earned.
What's in the hole?
What's in the hole?
A name is earned.
I don't know what's in the hole. Nothing.
A basilisk face bursts through from part of the stone wall.
Whack-a-mole. Grog, whack-a-mole.
Yeah, can I run over and play golf?
Do you want to avert your gaze or not?
Nah.
All right, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, shite. Need a giant
Roll
statue,
shit.
Grog.
Oh, that's good.
22.
All right, without an issue, the eyes find yours, and you just kind of grin as you bring. What kind of attacks do you want to do?
Reckless and Great Weapon Master.
All right, go for it.
Earned. Let's say earned
Strikes.
in Elvish.
That's natural 20.
Natural 20.
I'll take that one on the first one.
Okay, and then the second one.
Ernest.
That's
You're
a
forced
hit.
to being Ernest.
Ernest goes to Frostwell.
19. 20.
Yeah, both hit. The first is a critical.
Yeah, that is
Oh,
a critical.
oh, 4 head splatter.
7, 12.
This would be over here.
Oh, get it.
20, 21.
Get it.
31.
Oh.
So 31.
Did
Times
you roll the?
two.
Did you roll the?
two.
Is that times 2?
No, that's just the attack.
Critical.
But before you add your modifier,
Yeah, oh, before the modifier?
it was
It was
You rolled 7 on the. No, you rolled.
it was 12 before
12.
the modifier,
so 24 plus the modifier.
which is 32, and then plus 10 is 42.
42. Did you roll this the additional brutal critical rolls?
Yep.
So roll roll 4d6 on top of that because of your brutal critical.
6.
I think it is
7.
I think we can all agree it's the Jelly of the Month Club at this point.
17.
17.
Do you like it smooth or
for
chunky?
a grand total of
the question at this point.
59?
Do you double those ones though, because it's the dice?
on the at this point the brutal critical.
That's just the first hit.
Yeah. All right. So 59 points of damage. You square up and
Happy Gilmore style.
you strike down with the blade at an angle, using the stone, kind of holding it in place like an executioner's block. And the blade scrapes against the stone as you strike, finding itself embedding about 7 to 8 inches into the throat of the basilisk. Its head's protruding out. Immediately, blood begins to just pour out of its side, and it's gurgling in its attempt to try and push through. You wedge the blade out. Go for your next strike.
You hear Carl
your
Weathers' voice
attack, which is a 19, so
saying,
full damage
go
from that
to
one.
your happy place.
7, 12.
59 points on critical.
20, 30 on the second one.
Oh, that's all.
That's embarrassing.
With a second strike,
Take that, Bob Barker.
whoosh, clean slice. The head kind of under the stonework there. The body still wedging the hole shut. The neck gets a clean cut and just starts just gouting blood out.
I just dip the tip of the sword into the little well and I pick up the head.
Which, by the way, both saving throws were failed, so you gain another +2 to strength.
Oh, bother. Wow, you're almost catching up to Pike.
Ow.
Oh.
Nothing.
Did you cut yourself on your cup?
No, I just hit my tooth.
Oh, I hate that.
All right, so you can feel the impact still attempting from beneath, growing more and more frantic.
I say earned.
I'm gonna take off my.
Can I go get the? Can I go get the? Collect some of the basilisk. I can't say that. Can I get some of the blood? and
Sure.
collect it?
Sure. And you notice that the longer that it stays out there, the blood itself is beginning to freeze in just the general atmosphere and get kind of slushy.
We can get some and put it in my bag.
Or we
It
can put
keeps
on
things good.
cones.
Can I just stab the carcass then, like in another area, and then like get some fresh in the body?
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of carcases of basilisks around. So you guys, as they're inspecting, and you still feel the impacts from underneath the stone wall from the other tunnel. You managed to gather, we'll say, 2 small vials of basilisk blood.
I'm gonna go into the tunnel.
Because you have
How we
to.
see Vex.
Yeah, you put it in Vex's little refrigerator bag of holding.
Yeah.
Down there. I mean, if I were gonna hide the key in my
Okay. The slamming on the other side of the stone wall slowly subsides until silence comes.
Oh.
Can I give up?
Has anybody like put their hand in the hole yet?
It's all you, Grog.
All right, I'll put my head in the hole.
Where the one you killed is?
No, the triangle. The
triangle?
on the opposite.
Okay. So you take your hand and you place it inside this empty recess in the obelisk. It reaches into this where the shadow of the obelisk completely takes it to the wrist.
Here's the mind killer.
Like it goes.
Nothing happened.
I'm gonna take my Ioun stone and shove it in the hole.
Nope. Okay. You take the iron stone and you place it in the hole, and it gives a soft light that it gives off just naturally from the magical enchantment, and it kind of lights the inside of the dark recess. And as you place it inside, the top of the obelisk begins to glow ever so faintly, like a little beacon. It's kind of the very, very top of the stone glows a matching color to your stone.
Oh, matching color.
Yeah, I need you all to make a perception check.
Oh, shite.
Bollocks!
17.
14.
16.
19.
25.
Oh. Check out the ring on Brad.
Okay.
Ashley Blindside?
16.
16, okay. So, you catch a little bit of this grog, and you kind of perk up as you notice, and you see immediately there is a matching beacon, a faint glow that appears to be streaking down the mountainside in the distance. It's a little bit off center from direct south direction that you're facing, but there is a slight marker, very faintly visible on the mountain range, just visible over the treetops.
I drop a pin in that.
How do you do that?
And I tell Keelik, now you can use that thing.
And I hold up the hunk of qual.
No,
no,
that's
not
not what
that
I
thing.
mean.
Not that
Your
thing.
spell,
Nope,
Keyleth.
nope.
Oh.
Fastest
with us.
way
Your
to get
GPS.
to this point.
I didn't bring it because everyone said not to learn that spell.
That was
after.
today, wasn't it?
Seriously? I thought
It
you
was
already learned
before
it.
He
was today.
said to learn something else because it wasn't going to
No,
be
he said
useful.
just don't use that thing.
No, you said to learn something. It was at the beginning
You
of
can't
the day.
unlearn things.
There you go.
I thought were you
So glad I
going to
don't know
pick
any
something
magic.
else?
It's okay, it's
It's
okay.
fine, it's
I
fine.
can see it.
Me too.
It's totally fine. I can see it, and
You had it already memorized when you guys got to the edge of the forest, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, well then I thought you were saying to pick something else because it wouldn't be handy. So, but I
will never tell
take
you-
it back, and I'll use it now if we want.
No, we're good. We're good.
I'm so confused.
Up to you.
Is it me tonight?
It's a really
Did I
weird
just
pot
not?
of coffee. It is a really weird pot of coffee. It's not just you.
Sleep? What am I missing?
It's all good.
Can't math.
I can keep it. I can
Just lick
try
your
it.
finger and stick it in the wind.
just use the spell and pretend you never unlearned it.
I
Because
never unlearned it. It's been there the whole time. I
Pretend
didn't
you-
use it.
pretend you use the
It's
spell
not like
and
I
you're
used the
confident.
6th level Look, guys.
We're off the rails, guys.
Find the path that way.
Let's do this.
Okay, so your point. What is it that you're focusing on for the spell?
That beam of light
Okay.
that I pointed out to
that
her.
she pointed out.
Okay.
Am I doing this wrong?
No, you're not doing it wrong. You cast the spell, and concentrating on the source of this beacon, you feel the direction that would pull you. The best way to travel towards that beacon is to travel towards that beacon.
Look, you're just doing what the bossy half-elf told you to do. Just go with it.
Wait, that one?
That's the only bossy half-elf.
If I DM, can I experiment and take away? If I take away my Ion Stone, does the light fade?
As you pull the iron stone out of it, the beacon does fade. Yes. But you have a direction.
I have an idea.
Well,
of where it is now.
You very
have
much
it
have a
marked
direction
now. I have a pin
We
in
dropped
it,
a
right?
pin.
That counts.
Yeah,
Right?
no matter where you
Look at
travel
that!
in this place,
Yes.
you will have a
Hand-
directional position towards that beacon.
See, there we go.
Fucking handy that one is.
redemption.
Yep, let's go. Let's move it.
Thanks, Google.
Totally a great,
great
7th,
spell.
6th level spell I'm going to use all the time going
Oh,
forward.
for
I've got that
fuck's
spell. I've
sake.
got that
Here we
spell
go,
on my-
people.
Keep
Here we
going.
go. And we're
And
moving.
we take off at a jog now, too.
And
Yes.
we're moving.
Risk.
Wait. Before we leave, is there anything else we need to do here? Do we need to go down in the tunnels? Do we need to piss on the obelisk? Do we want to do anything?
You
can
should
piss
piss
on
on
the
the obelisk just to be sure.
You should lick it too after you piss on
Let's
it.
not. Well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's go.
All right. Are you guys leaving?
Yep.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Wait, we need some basilisk blood and stuff.
already did
Already
that.
got it. It's
Like,
already.
you're standing amongst the obelisk, a long series of mud with a bunch of mostly together stone statues of people and pieces of
Do we
people
want to check
around.
the other, like, building ruins? We didn't check those at all. There's like a whole corner of a building over there.
Sure.
We'll go check it.
Sure, the
I go look at it.
half elves look at the building
Make an
structure.
investigation.
What the hot,
Jesus.
holy fuck. I mean, I'll
Hey,
look, but-
26.
It says it was forged by dwarves. That's all I can
Investigation or
Investigation.
19.
19. All right.
don't know what's
You guys
going
both
on.
kind of start gathering around the sides of the ruin. Glancing about the outside, it looks like at one point it was a smaller structure, probably part of the construction. Like this here was a satellite place of worship for Ioun, like a honestly a beacon is part of a journey. But nothing about it catches your eyes as you're stepping over the remnants of the stone individuals in the ground. You catch your eye on one of the individuals you see lying partially submerged in the snow and mud. You glance down and see two arms that are out like this, although the right arm from the elbow down is missing. It's broken off in stone. Both of them reaching out. A young human male, shortish brown hair, spectacles at the end of his nose, thin body, and tucked in nice buttoned shirt, slacks. This is Tyriok, the
Map
the
maker?
map maker.
The map maker?
You're a terrible person.
No, why would you do that, Matthew?
Wait.
He was traveling the world.
I take.
Take notes, people.
Wait. Everybody shush. I look at him for a moment, and then I leave him, and I don't tell anyone else.
Wait.
What?
We have Pike with us.
I don't tell anyone else.
Okay.
Pike didn't see him.
Pike could.
But you could.
His arm is broken off. You don't fucking know he exists. He's
All right.
gone.
But.
Okay.
That's terrible.
Why don't you two just write a sequel to Batman Superman while you're at it? Let's just destroy everything. I don't
All
care
right, so
anymore.
you don't know. So
You don't know.
Eventually, after you guys do a perusal of the ruins, you find your way back to the party, and you guys continue traveling which way? Towards the beacon.
Towards the beacon.
I've got it in my head now.
Okay.
But we should also keep.
Wait. I go to Pike. Pike.
Yeah. Hi, Vex.
You remember that map maker? Were you with us? So much shit has happened. Do you remember Tyriok the map maker?
I don't think I was with you, but
There's a man over there. His arm is gone. Can you fix stoning? Can you fix a man who's been turned to stone?
I could try.
Blood, remember?
I don't.
I remember one time we fixed Vex when she was turned to stone. The last time we fought the basilisks.
2 years ago, yeah. What did we do?
We covered her in basilisk blood.
I need to take a walk. Could you do that? Could you do that?
Sure. Which stone is he?
Look over there by that tree there. Do you see him? There's two hands pointing towards the sky.
One hand.
Okay.
Two.
No, well, broken off.
1.5.
Two arms, you fucker.
All right.
All right. Can I head over there with?
Yeah. You walk over there and you do see a number of broken body parts, all turned to stone, various states of disuse and crumbling. You do see a young man who is, caught with his arms out, one broken off at the elbow, staring up, glasses at the end of his nose, looking both frightened and frozen in a moment of complete unaware danger.
Okay. Could I try covering him in some of the basilisk's blood?
Sure. You take one of the vials you collected and take the basilisk's blood and pour it over the statue. The blood kind of congeals and spills over, crystallizing slowly as the ice cold gets to it. Doesn't seem to have an effect.
It's been too long.
You gather
Man.
based on the last time it happened, the blood needs to be applied within a short period of time after the person turns to stone.
Okay.
Do you have anything else that might help?
Probably greater restoration.
Do you have that prepared?
I do.
Okay. You concentrate, grasping the symbol of Sarenrae around your neck, and touch your hand out. The warm glow of Sarenrae's divine energy transferring into the stone form. The form glows with energy, and the glow subsides and fades. The stone texture of his body beginning to slowly soften, and the color returning to his skin. And for a moment, the head team seems to shake, and the eyes kind of clarify, and a voice begins to peek through these previously frozen vocal cords. I mean, no. As all of a sudden, his arm begins to just spray gouts of blood.
Oh, God.
Oh, I got it.
Hissing
I start catching it with the sword.
Oh God!
You're catching it with
He turns to you, just sprays right across your face.
Yeah, good special.
Help me!
I grab his arm and then cure wounds. I don't know. I mean, that's.
Okay, go ahead and heal him up.
Can
a
I
bit.
try to reattach his arm?
You gather that might have been something to do before you had restored him.
Oh shit.
However, go ahead and heal for cure wounds. Roll a d8 plus 5.
That's kind of fucking hilarious.
What's it?
5d8 plus 5?
No, depending on what level you want to use on it. The level 1 is 1d8 plus 5.
Oh god. Okay, I feel like I'm using all this. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, so let's do level 5.
Level 5? All right, go for it. 5d8 plus 5.
Not our finest hour. It's pretty funny. It's a pretty reasonable hour, but it's definitely not the finest. We brought most of them maker back.
Good job, Grog.
So how much is that?
29.
29. Okay, as you reach out and grasp the edge of his bleeding stump.
Stop moving!
And the warmth kind of causes the pain to fade, and he kind of calms for a second. Oh, sorry. Looks down as the wound has stopped bleeding. The skin is it's kind of scabbed over, and it looks like it's now at a place where it's no longer an open wound. It is mostly healed over, though he is now missing part of his arm.
Can he regrow his little arm like you regrew my brother's little nubbin of a toe?
This is a bit beyond your healing capabilities.
Come on, Deadpool hand.
Which point Lucy goes,
Thank you, small one.
and he kind of goes to reach up for his glasses, and other hand.
Oh, we're terrible.
So,
Hey, we saved 7/8 of a Mac maker.
And he looks around at the rest of you.
oh, hello. It's been a while. We haven't. Well, I seem to have got myself in a bit of a predicament.
What happened?
Well, I had two escorts, and I had been making my way through most of Taldore and had gotten as far as this region, and that's all I remember.
Basilisks. Big lizard creatures.
Yes. Very scary. I tried to run. That's all I remember.
Was it just the three of you then, not a large group of people?
No, just three of us.
What were you doing over here?
Well, I was trying to finish this portion of the map. If I,
And he goes over and reaches through some of the snow and pulls up a large stone bag that is currently still attached to his broken arm. He goes,
Is this?
Nope. That's just a part of it. It was a statue garden. It's not a big deal. Yep, it's just a fragment.
All right. Well, these were my maps.
Are they stone?
They are stone currently.
Can we? Oh no.
Is he on the ground still?
No, he's standing.
Oh, okay.
Oh boy.
He takes his glasses off and goes to rub them into his shirt and does it with one hand and puts them back on.
Buddy.
I feel terrible.
Well,
a one-legged duck walk around. It feels so
What do I do?
Which hand does he have? His left?
He has his left hand.
Are you right-handed?
I'm kind of ambidextrous.
Oh,
Thank gods for that.
All right.
That's good. That's good. Well.
There's a lot's happened.
You see that there's shock on his face, like he still hasn't quite
everything's
taken
gonna
in
be
all this
okay.
Well, you have a great story now.
And a period of adjustment.
This is very true. This is a valid point.
We should send him back to the encampment.
Yes.
It's like a 2-day walk.
These escorts that you had with you who were also turned to stone, were they important to you? Were they friends of yours?
Oh no, I hired them as part of this endeavor. They were nice fellas.
Hold on a second. He starts walking off and starts like rummaging through the pieces of stone and various people, kind of picking up heads.
No. Well, that's Alex. Golly, I don't I don't know where Gerald is, but I come with you for now.
Well, you're more than actually.
No.
He's
knows-
rather smart, isn't he?
He has knowledge of the area.
It actually could be useful.
Here's the thing, it's very dangerous, dear, and it's quite possible you might be turned into stone again, or you might... No, we don't want that for you either.
Also eaten alive, burned, shot, stabbed,
Straight up
pulled
killed,
apart, maimed,
beheaded.
lacerated.
All options.
But that's just in the morning.
But you're more than welcome to join us
I don't have it
for a short
today.
amount of time, or you can, head back to a camp that's about a day and a half away.
All right. Well, whereabouts are you going?
We're heading up the mountain.
I'll head for the camp.
Are you sure? Yeah, we could always use you as a decoy. I mean, as an aid.
I'm good. I'm all right, thank you though. I appreciate the offer. I have a lot to think about.
I could.
Well, we'll run into him when we get back.
Do you need a hand finding your way to the encampment?
Hey, not cool.
Just walking south or northward, basically trailing past the path where you guys walked from.
I feel like we could help. We should help him or something.
I mean,
Not bad enough to actually
have
do it, though,
conjure
right?
woodland beings in my back pocket today, so I could conjure you like a little posse to escort you.
That would be good.
Have some squirrels, buddy.
Yeah, have a little posse.
What's the duration on that one?
Posse
I don't know.
opossums.
Not very long.
It's something else that I haven't done ever.
Wait, hold on. Have you been up the mountain?
Untested high-level spell? Do it.
Is this
It always scripts so well.
Oh,
It takes
Is
what?
this as far as you got, or did you make it up the mountain previously?
I was cresting through the base of the mountain and made it most of the way down the storm crest, and then was heading back through the Frostwell.
Oh, you've been up there already?
You've been to the base of the Stormcrest Mountains.
Oh, kind of along the side. We were trying to make our way through the central portion of the mountain pass, so we could keep track of the division of topography, both top and bottom.
Why didn't you say so? I mean, we could really use your help here.
Actually, did you see something similar to this obelisk at the base of the mountain?
He kind of looks back and thinks to himself, not quite like this though, but there are a number of cavern entrances that litter various portions of the base of the mountain.
Did you go in any of them?
No, I was afraid those would be too dangerous, so I went into the forest.
Right.
Anyway.
Well, look, you don't really seem to have a lot on you. Why don't you join us for just a little bit to the areas that he knows, and then we'll send you back on your way, maybe with a bit of ale, a little bit of food, maybe a weapon.
That would be fantastic, and thank you. I realize now that if you hadn't come by, I probably would have been there forever.
Yes, well, we're sorry about the arm, dear.
There are worse things. And I can retrain the right with this arm. It's totally fine.
Yes, you're lucky to be alive, and now you're going on an adventure with us? Hey, who has two thumbs and is really excited? You and me, both doing this.
You know what? Make a charisma check.
You worry me.
Charisma?
Yeah, just add your +5 charisma bonus.
What's that,
Charisma
sticky
in this
fingers?
game? Oh, yeah, no, there it is. 20.
20? As you do that, he kind of like...
Yeah, right. You're right. I'm thankful to be alive today. And it's because of you guys. No.
Technically true.
Let's travel.
All right.
That's technically true. Well, listen, I'll walk with you. Lead the way.
All right, so where are we going? Because this place was dangerous, and that place is dangerous, and now we don't want to go that way.
Yeah, Vexalia will
Why
point
don't you
where
want to
we're
go that way?
headed.
Have you seen orcs in this wood?
He kind of points and says, "There's a lot of them that way. We kind of came through here to avoid them, and that's when this all happened. So."
Oh, actually, we should probably take care of the
The
orcs.
orcs really quick, and then we can send him back with the refugees.
We did say we were going to take care of the orcs.
Yes, we did.
We did promise that.
What do you say, Grog? Would you like to kill some orc?
I mean, do you always ask questions to which you know the answer already?
Would you like to stay here while we fight the orc, or could you walk us toward them and then stay hidden?
I don't want to stay here.
Then you come
Here,
with us,
Liz.
and then you stay very, very hidden.
I can do that.
All right.
We'll give him a
Definitely
bear.
do that.
Will we?
Well, like when it's time, he can hide with a bear. Then a bear will be hiding with a map maker, or most of a map maker.
We'll be fine.
Let's go.
Let's go.
A bear and most of a map maker.
Right.
While all of that happened for the last 10 minutes, can I stealth away for a little bit?
Sure, we'll self-check.
31.
Okay, based on passive perception, nobody notices your exit.
I don't want to go that far. I want to go so I can still hear all this bullshit behind me and find a quiet spot. I know you can hear me. I'm going to need more than nightmares. A deal has been struck, and I will honor it. I need to understand what this is. Anytime.
In that moment, the white snow suddenly flashes to dark, and it's like you're struck blind. You gasp instinctually as your vision goes dark. Nothing. And you see, come from the shadow, another flash, another vision. It's of Vasselheim. Another flash. You look out and you can see there's one large, darkened structure that you have not visited but passed by on the southeastern side of Vasselheim. This
Temple. Temple of Raven Queen.
The actual name of this, and you've heard it in passing before, when you were given your initial pass over of the
I got goosebumps.
Trying to find the specific name here so I don't mess it up. But it's in here somewhere. You see this dark obsidian structure that is ridged, almost like an even rib cage along each side. It is ominous, and it's stuck out in the middle of the city because, amongst the rest of the jovial atmosphere, it kind of loomed over the Amaranthine Oubliette. But this was the central temple to the Raven Queen. You then flash once again in a long chamber, and you see veils, dark veils, passing by, one after another after another. Another flash forward, and you see a chamber with dark brown, smooth floors. You see gold trim along large pillars that reach up to a dome-type stained glass ceiling of amber colors and white. And in the center of this chamber, you see what appears to be a pool of still crimson liquid. You see the crimson liquid shift, and a form rises up out of it. An arm rises up and beckons a finger. Vision goes to black, and you're back in the forest.
Fuck. Not exactly what I was talking about. At some point, a little bit of clarification. Congratulations, you're creepy as fuck. We'll work it out. I head back to the group.
Good talk.
Good talk.
My house.
As you guys gather yourselves, your new companion, and start heading in the direction that he ushered you within the Frostweald towards where supposedly these orcs have holed up and made their camp, you know that the good news is you probably have the element of surprise in this. But you're not entirely sure what it is you're in for when you get there. That's where I'll end today's session. Take it from
That was a lot of sidetracks on this particular.
I don't know.
It's all right. Sidetracks make it fun.
Nothing wrong with sidetrack.
Heebie-jeebies.
Oh man, she's creepy.
Hey, those
Creepy as fuck.
Hey, Pike, good job tonight, lady.
Hey, Pikey!
You brought a guy back to life?
19 strength, say what?
You're super strong.
Tank up in this motherfucker.
Legit.
So
Okay.
good to be back.
I know. Come back to us soon, physically.
Yes, please.
Please.
Yes, very soon. Few more weeks.
4 weeks, it's coming, it's coming.
Yes, yes.
We need a bike.
All right, guys, we'll pick this up next Thursday. Yeah, thank you for coming and watching us play around, make believe on the internet.
Is next week any It's not our 50th
It's our
episode.
49th.
It's our 49th.
Next week is our 49th. 2 weeks from now is our 50th.
Yeah.
21st is our 50th episode.
Last time in our 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Be our-
guess gotta enjoy it now.
And don't miss the 50th.
Hey, don't miss 50th. It's gonna be fun.
not.
It's gonna be
Do
good.
not.
Maybe a
miss
couple
the
surprises
50th. Don't
in
miss the
store.
50th.
Maybe-
Nothing. Just us.
I don't know where we'll be in the story because that's definitely based on whatever you guys end up doing. but we'll have some fun things here.
Shopping episode.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. See you next Thursday. Those of you in Pittsburgh, we'll see you this weekend. And Thursday.
Boy.